There we go. All right. Let me move this over to here, I guess. It's just me and a green screen. Anyway. So, hey, Silent. Trying to figure all this junk out now. Apparently, I can't access the green screen while I'm doing that. That sucks. That's kind of what I was depending on. But I don't know. Let's see. Okay, that does nothing. Thanks, Silent. Hola. Still trying to get things set up here, trying to figure out how to use the green screen during the live and all that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I actually had to turn OBS off to get this thing to work, so unfortunately, no OBS. I tried using the OBS and it was just like you can't use YouTube and OBS at the same time. I can try turning it back on, but it's probably going to turn off the live stream. It's what happens when you jump into this stuff without actually learning anything. Hey, best guy. It's okay. You're still early. We're still trying to figure things out. Which is me just sitting here in front of a green screen at the moment. Let's see. Hello. It's so cool to see everybody showing up. We'll be starting in about 20 minutes or so. But it's live now just so that we can hang out and I can figure out how exactly I'm doing this because I have no idea. If anybody's ever done YouTube live streaming and knows how to get the green screen to work while you're using it, that would be great to know if you guys know how to do it. Because it's not telling me anything. But we'll figure that out, hopefully. Let's see. Let's see. All right, give me 1 second and I'll figure that out real quick. I've actually just started turning on YouTube tutorials to figure out what we're doing here. I am YouTubing it right now. Set up lighting. All right, that ain't gonna help me with nothing. Oh, very cool. Have fun at your vampire game tonight, DJ. We might have to do it without a green screen. I don't know. I don't really care. As long as we get to hang out tonight, that's really all that matters to me. Um, if I'm doing pen and paper for vampire, that's fine with me. I might have to go grab a pen. That's about it. I think the big thing is having it work with both OBS and YouTube, and I just don't know how to do that yet. But that's fine. I don't mind. Like I said, we'll do pen and paper. I'll print out a sheet. I'll just print out a random vampire sheet, and we will be able to do it that way. So, Vampire 5th Edition, B5. I'm going to be using Mr. Gon's RockSolidShells.com as the source for those sheets. They're just the best ones that I've been able to find. And we'll get the inner, we'll just get a nice blank vampire sheet ready to go. Let's see. I think that one works. That one's nice. Plug in the printer. There we go. All right, cool. All right. Thanks, Silent. I'm going to get a pen and I'll be right back. Get rid of the green screen. All right. All right. So got rid of the green screen. Here we go. So got rid of the green screen. Grab the pen. Grab the paper, and we can just do this the old-fashioned way as a group. We'll start character creation in like 15 minutes, and if anybody just wants to do Q&A and stuff, I'm open for that. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, we're just gonna do this nice, cheap, and janky, because that's how I do everything when I'm first learning how to do it. I'd rather do that than cancel, right? Yeah, we're doing it live. Woo! Let's see. What was my first character? My first character was actually a Toreador. And I don't ever think that should ever be the thing. The Toreador tend to get lumped up in this um, basic bitch category where the storytellers are like a lot of storytellers I've met have just been like, oh, just make a Toreador. You can't do that wrong. But the Toreador are one of the most such they're so intricate. There's so much detail and stuff that goes into them that I just don't think that's true. My first character was just a clusterfuck of everything that I could think of to shove into one thing because, like a lot of new players, I really thought this was going to be the end all be all best vampire character ever when he ended up just being kind of a joke. And I had He was a vampire, obviously, who had like werewolf heritage, and Fae were in there somewhere, and mage, and just like anything World of Darkness I could think of, I crammed into one character, which was just a bad idea. Need more NOS tech support. That is very true. I am working off of a half a technology point, but as long as we get to hang out, that's really all I care about. Um, Actually, never played VTM. Forever the Storyteller. I'm sorry. That's actually how I kind of feel about V5 right now. I have never had a chance to play it myself. Except I did just do a one shot where it was character creation. But unfortunately, we ended the game at our embrace, so it really didn't get to go anywhere. I didn't get to actually play the vampire. Vulgari Toreador would be awesome. Those are a lot of fun, especially if you get the background for it. That's something that they came out with in Vampire the Masquerade 20th anniversary, and for the By Night Studios group that I really wish would have carried over into V5, just because they're such a interesting subset of Toreador with a great past. What's a Golgari? Is that just like a different spelling for the Vulgari? The Vulgari Toreador were a group of incredibly morbid artists who chose the Sabbat because it gave them artistic freedom, not because they believed in the ethics and the morality of the Sabbat. And when the Sabbat went like psycho zealotry, the Vulgari decided that it was too much for them and decided to join the Camarilla again. But when they came over, they brought secrets of vicissitude with them. So now they like secretly are integrated into the regular Camarilla set of Toreador, but they all have the ability to learn the first couple of levels of vicissitude without a teacher. So lots of fun. It's an MTG thing. Let's see. We did play that. That's true. We did. We did play a couple of sessions where we had a fun little Sabbat tryout thing. That was a lot of fun. It's just I couldn't keep the scheduling down, unfortunately, being able to play in it, and the game kind of dispersed after a couple of sessions. That was kind of sad. I wish I could hear you guys. Can you guys hear my dogs? You guys hear my dogs like freaking the hell out in the background? Kind of want to play a Vulgari now. It's fun. I actually had I did a LARP. Um, I did a LARP a couple of years ago where the prince was a Vulgari Toreador, and he was actually a pretty damn good prince, but he was very Sabbat minded when it came to keeping everybody under control. Like he tried to use fear tactics. He used his own vicissitude to make it look like they were Sabbat attacking the city when it was really just him trying to keep everybody under control. Playing Sabbat sounds incredibly exhausting. Eh, it kinda, it is. Hi, doggos. Very cool. Let's see. My first ish character was a Toreador serial killer. His murder was his art. Didn't know much with him. Yeah. My first character, he ended up getting wrapped into a really convoluted demon plot line, and he eventually turned into a good character, but he ended up being uh, insane lore hound demon hunter after a little while. But that was a very big like world fantasy kind of thing instead of the small town stuff that I prefer to run. Let's see. You can always do doing Discord chat to hear us. That's true. I'm actually afraid of having Discord, YouTube, and stuff open all at the same time because my reception here sucks. So I'm trying to keep things minimal as possible. Let's see. Maybe that is something schedule. True. Speaking of Sabbat, I'm about to DM. You're going to DM me a thing? Is that going to be on Discord? Memphis, your first character was a Giovanni. That's kind of crazy. That's that's advanced in my opinion to have your first character be a Giovanni. I like them, I really do, but I just think it's I don't know. There's so much outside perception on who the Giovanni are that it being somebody's first character, especially if they haven't read the material that much, that's kind of crazy. Not tonight. I mean another night or so. I like the idea of that. Like let's have Elysium nights. Maybe we'll do that. I'm actually going to be hooking up to Skylink, Starlink, whatever Elon Musk's internet thing is. When that gets set up, then maybe I'll have a little bit more. I'll have a little bit more confidence in my reception. Stream too late for me to join. Oh, okay. Yeah, have fun watching King Jupiter. It's literally going to be this. It's going to be us talking and building a character together. The thing I just sent you is a Sabbat homebrew that makes it feel like old Sabbat, and I really love it. Would love to hear your thoughts. I might do that right now. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna take a chance on Discord. Hopefully, it doesn't kill everything or slow everything down. Because I'm sorry, Sabbat homebrew. I really don't want to miss out on that. That looks good. Let's see. Ooh, I like the marbled color on the cover of this, A Guide to the Gehenna Wars. I like it because it looks both like the old marble um covers for the old books, but also has this like cracked ice feel to it. This looks really cool. Yeah. Oh, this is looking good. This is really in depth. This is going to be something that I'm going to have to. Yeah, I think this is going to have to be like a book review kind of thing. This goes really in depth. Code of Milan, Clans of the Sabbat. This is nice. Very cool. I'm gonna turn this off so it doesn't slow everything down. But that looks really good, Silent. Thanks for sending that to me. Did you write that or did somebody else? Is that something you found? Let's see. Back in '96 before a lot happened. Memphis. J- Eighth gen. Eighth gen Harbinger of Skulls. Not first character, but it was an early one. Actually became one of my favorites. Nice. B2 was the best. I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. I'm gonna confess something to you. We got 5 minutes before the event actually starts, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna confess this to you. My first World of Darkness dive, I guess, into the first time I ever played World of Darkness was actually Werewolf the Apocalypse tabletop. I have no idea what edition it was. Storyteller didn't tell us anything. He didn't run off the lore from it. We just made characters and we played during lunch in high school. But the first time I really got into Vampire the Masquerade, World of Darkness, anything, it was the second edition revised LARP, Laws of the Night, and that's where I made my Toreador character and played that for years. I played that and its supplements like Faith and Fire, which was the Dark Age LARP supplement. Um, and I played that until V20 came out, and I never really touched tabletop until V5. So I'm enjoying running tabletop. In fact, I can't see myself really being as comfortable going into LARP, but with tabletop, I feel comfortable with like maybe up to 6 players. When in LARP, I had like 35. It was completely player run and a lot of fun. Had a great time doing it. Let's see. Bishop Bling, you have any tips for STing? Build your city. Build your city. Your city is your biggest character, massively. The way that I typically do it is I build my NPCs, my SPCs, and I I get to know them. I get to know them better than I get to know most of the time when I play a character, because they have goals and they should never be identical. I should always have You should always have SPCs going in every which direction, trying to do everything to get their own goals accomplished. And you should never like compromise one character's for another character's goals. If your players get involved, it's really just how are your SPCs going to use your players? And if you can get them to you got to learn how to compartmentalize, you got to make it so that like if Ventru A is trying to become prince and Bruja B is trying to like disrupt the city, whoever gets the most help is going to be the one who actually accomplishes their goals. And follow the same rules you expect your characters to follow. The players have a set of rules that they have to follow when it comes to how influences work and how resources work. And you've got to keep your SPCs in the same box as that. And I don't know, it's like playing chess by yourself at that point, because you want to win on equal grounds for all SPCs. And I mean, I don't know if that's really a confusing way of putting it, but like everybody's trying to come out on top, and you gotta not be biased towards your SPCs when that's happening. Let's see. It brings the Sabbat back to okay. This is that Sabbat thing. Brings the Sabbat back to V2 Sabbat, and even writes out all the paths of older editions, including Honorable Accord, Night, and Metamorphosis. That's awesome. That's something really cool. I I appreciate what's going on with the Sabbat and Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Um, but the way that it sits, those paths of enlightenment, which I love and I love seeing played out, don't fit in the Sabbat anymore because they're so selfish for yourself. Metamorphosis in general is just you never ever share anything. You make the people who are coming to you for help have to work for it. And the Sabbat is so keep everybody on equal grounds. And I don't know. I like it like that. It also opens up clans like the Lasombra and the Zamitzi up for more diverse plot lines to play in. I'm running behind. There's no way in hell I'm going to keep up with all of this stuff, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Memphis says Vamp was my first, but Mage and Mummy will always be my faves. You know what? I can get that. I have never fully understood Mage. I can completely admit that. Mage is like reading stereo instructions in another language to me. But as much as I love Vampire, I love Wraith. Wraith is so much fun. Unfortunately, whenever you get people involved who want to actually play Wraith, it turns into a Looney Tunes cartoon so freaking quickly. When it needs to keep the darkness of vampire. It's more like Wraith is like running Vampire with no masquerade, and everybody's a vampire. I mean, if that makes any sense. Like everybody is a Wraith. The only masquerade you could break in Wraith is letting humans know that you're there, and the humans are in a completely separate dimension. So yeah. DJ. Oh, I know. Thing you could do or post on Discord, weekly, monthly topic, storyteller plot line or story plot idea for those who use in their story. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, no, if anybody wants to use any of the plots and stories and stuff that I've talked about, feel free. Feel free. I mean, I use modules from time to time. Like I use the the Sticks and Bones storyline that was in Cult of the Blood Gods was beautiful, and that really has kicked off what we're doing now. It's even interacting with the Black Sheep story that we're doing. I love writing my SPCs to have beef with other. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Silent is the fact that like make them hate each other. Also, like the idea of all of your SPCs getting along is not going to happen. They shouldn't, and um that's where your conflict's going to come into game. Because if you've got like the prince is trying to hire a group of neonates to go spy on the anarchs, but then the anarchs seem more appealing, so then the baron starts using that exact same coterie, the spy on the Camarilla, it can really create a lot of friction, a lot of fun. Let's see. The best guy. I feel like a lot of the point of the Sabbat in V5 is those who cared about things like clan, being an elder, ruling, etc. Eventually jumped ship, Camarilla. You know what? There's a lot. There's a lot when it comes to that. The way that I see the Sabbat now is that the panders, in my opinion, stood up and said, "This is bullshit." When it comes to everything, because they're like, the Lasombra and the Tzimisce are forcing everybody to call themselves anti-tribute because it doesn't give them power. It doesn't give the Antediluvians power. It's the idea that like strength comes in a name. So don't call yourselves Toreador, don't call yourselves Bruja. But then the Lasombra and the Tzimisce are sitting there calling themselves Lasombra and Tzimisce. They are being the high clans in the Sabbat. They're being massive hypocrites. And I think that the whole thing that's going on with the Gehenna War, the idea that the Lasombra are running around and they go, "Oh crap, we found the Lasombra Tzimisce hanging out." Crap. Like that's not something that's not okay. The Lasombra, you can't trust anything with dominate. Sorry, that seems like such a jump. But the idea of you cannot trust anything with dominate. If a guy says, "I killed it," and they go, "How?" And they go, "I killed it." How? But they can't give you a straight answer, and you're killing something that has dominate, which has forgetful mind, which has the ability to rewrite their entire memories in the process. You cannot trust that. So yeah, I think that the Sabbat actually, everything in it being anti-tribute now, and I don't know. I want to run a Sabbat game, but it's exhausting. Running Sabbat's exhausting because in V5 especially, you're jumping around from city to city to city, and I put so much detail in my cities. Oh my god, just jumping up there. Hi. Hi everybody. This is cool. All right, so it's after 8 o'clock. Sorry, I chew ice. I know that's massively rude. I see people talk about the V5 Sabbat, and I hate the idea of the sex direction. I never see them think about how the older edition Sabbat probably jumps ships. You know what? The Sabbat book that came out. Let's talk about that for a second. Actually, you know what? Topic. We need to start thinking about this character we're going to build. So let's think about that. But while we're thinking about it, the V5 Sabbat book is built as an antagonist book. Everything that's in that book is the exterior look of the Sabbat from the other groups. The Camarilla, the Anarchs, the Hecata all see the Sabbat the way that the book is pointing it at us as bloodthirsty, crazy monsters, zealots, and completely brainwashed. And the Sabbat does brainwash. It really does. But there is so much internal struggle going on in the Sword of Cain itself. And I can see why they said, "Oh, we're not going to focus on the Sabbat being player characters," but really, I think a fun setting would be your characters in the Sabbat trying to maintain their humanity while they're being taught the paths of enlightenment. That is a story of damnation and struggle and drama, and I think that the Sabbat actually has a very open place in V5 if people stop and think about it that way. All right, so lock size. Oh, dominate. Shovelheads are bad. Shouldn't represent the Sword of Cain. That's not true. Shovelheads are not bad. Shovelheads, shovelheads are. I don't know. That's the grand story of the phoenix rising from the ashes, in my opinion. The idea of the person who has not chosen the Sabbat, because nobody chooses the Sabbat. Like even if you're embraced into the Sabbat, not by a shovel, but like by a sire, you're still in the Sabbat. You didn't choose to do that. You can choose to run away, but like after a while, it really is just them. What do they put into your head? So, respect the shovelheads. I think that's a huge issue on why the Lasombra and the Tzimisce were kicked out, because most other clans end up being shovelheads. You don't really find many Tzimisce and Lasombra who participate in that activity. Let's see. Make a character a pander. Do we want to make a pander? That'd be interesting. You want to make a Sabbat? My favorite's the Z that I made was Chinese hair stylist, moonlighted as a Latin gangster to keep his hood in check. I like that, Memphis. That's a lot of fun. Okay, DJ. Bye. Have fun doing your thing tonight. Let us know how it went. Changed your perspective entirely, Silent. What, on the Sabbat itself, or on Shovelheads being like a primary thing? House Gortrix Tremere. You know what? The House of Gortrix Tremere, I don't know. I think the House of Gortrix Tremere are more of, God, that's hard. The Gortrix Tremere, we need more information on it, don't we? There's really not much there. I kind of expected more Gortrix Tremere information to be in the Sabbat book, and there's like nothing there. Shovel is what they put in your head. What is that? Andy Pickle, what'd you say? I want Parentachin as a milk. Am I screwing that word? I do that constantly. I'm bad at pronunciation. I do not get the reference, obviously, because I don't know what that word is. The Sabbat itself being a good thing to RP story. Seriously, it is. Like, even if you are talking about the humanity, which is what V5 focuses on, your humanity is under full frontal assault when you join the Sabbat. I miss the OP Tremere of old. I don't. I don't. I like the idea of blood sorcery being an active discipline the way that it is in V5, where it's kind of like quietus and blood sorcery are the same thing. I think everything should come back in potions and rituals and stuff like that. I really do. I think that right there should be what makes Tremere scary, is access to rituals that allow them to do things. Like, and also that would make storytelling and playing them a lot more fun too, because like, imagine them going, "Oh, I can call lightning down. I've got lightning in a bottle," or something like that, and they have to break the bottle, and then you get one strike. That's it. You'd have to be a lot more strategic, because with the way that the hunger system works with the rouse checks, you might be able to continuously just call down lightning without suffering from it at all. Let's see. Poison Elves comic book. I haven't seen it, unfortunately. Big big dog to see you growing. Keep it up. I will. I am. I'm doing this, man. I get it so excited. I downloaded the YouTube Studio app on my phone, and like every morning I used to wake up and go, "What's going on with my friends?" And now I'm like, "What's my revenue at?" I'm not even really being greedy. It's more along the lines of like, I'm excited to see numbers go up. Main character had an imp on his head called, okay, I see what you mean. Very cool. Ravno neonate Diablerist. Diablerizing and bracing to restore the clan. I can see that. I can see that. The Ravno state in V5 is actually one of the things that I really love, because they could very well be picking up um numbers. The clan could come back. But like, the Ravno have been like one of the most, I'm not even going to say most racist, but like, the Ravno have been one of the most overtly racist cults. Not them being racist, but like the way that they've been portrayed. because the whole gypsy thing is one thing, and then they went and said that, okay, fine, we're gonna drop that, but we're gonna say that they're all from India and they're all criminals. I'm like, come on, guys, you're in a step in the right direction. But the whole Daredevil thing now, and the fact that they're multicultural and they're connected to like trickster gods like Anansi and Loki, that is such a great idea. And the fact that they are not only prone to travel because that's what they do, but that's actually what their clan bane is now. That if they sit in one place too long, they'll burst with the sun. Is just a beautiful way of doing that. I love it. I love the Ravno in V5 now. Though Elder Ravno do pop up in a couple of the lore sheets, so keep that in mind. Like there still is like a small cult of the way the Ravno used to be. Let's see. Humanity means nothing when it comes to the Sabbat because you're not human anymore. You either be one of us or you be eaten. Exactly. Exactly. And that is why running a game where you're a newly embraced Sabbat being taught paths of enlightenment and learning how to fit in while still trying to hold on to your humanity, because it's going to eventually be something very similar to Stockholm syndrome, where you're going to be stuck in that situation and eventually you're just going to erode and you're barely going to be yourself anymore. In in the other Sabbat book, the big one that came out for players, that's on the Storyteller's Vault, that is built so that your character still has to maintain their humanity even if they're on a path of enlightenment. And I love the way that's set up. And I'm not 100% a fan of some of the writing in that book, but the mechanics are just gold. They really are. They are just those are the best Sabbat mechanics I think I've ever seen, and the fact that it still has you maintain your humanity while being in the Sabbat. That's what I love. Humanity is for game balance to keep the players from just you know what, Andy, I'm gonna disagree. No, I am gonna disagree because I've actually played a game where we've just ignored humanity. We've actually just ignored humanity and not dealt with the mechanics. And you still can play a game where your vampire can be just a lethally disgusting mean person, but it still doesn't erupt into everybody like ripping each other's heads off and stuff. There's a dog in here. Hi, Nordy. I didn't notice that until I saw him in the thing. Let's see. Currently running a Florida and Ancilli Chronicle. I love V5, but have abandoned the Beckoning, and I am integrating Mage 20, Werewolf 20, Vampire 20 stuff. I can see that. There's no reason not to. I love the mechanics. I love the mechanics for for V5. I think it's beautiful. I think that it is simple to run, and I like the fact that it takes story first, and also the fact that like you can make a vampire be anything. You can make a Toreador that's a gangbanger. You can make a Bruja that wants to be a professional dancer. You can make anything, but when you are rolling bad, that's when your clan comes out. When you suffer from your compulsions, it forces you to be that clan. And it allows you to make characters who are very much like the anti-tribute, where they're just like self-hating. I hate my clan. I don't want to be this, but they still become that over time, and I love it. Let's see. Now it just feels like Tremere have usurped the Assamites, and now the Assamites lit. Okay, you know what? It does feel like that, and that's exactly what I think happened. I really do. In the Book of Nod, I'm preaching at you. The Book of Nod. In the Book of Nod, it says that Cain discovered the path of blood, which was the gateway to all other paths. I think since Quietus, I'm all blurry now. I don't know why. I think that because Quietus is the only discipline that Cain apparently did not discover, that it is the path of blood. That the Banu Hakim had it, and this is just my own personal headcanon. This isn't lore anywhere in any of the systems that I've seen. But I think that when the Tremere stole Tzimisce blood and became vampires, and then they embraced Solot to become a legit, or embraced, then they diablerized Solot to become a legit clan. I think that they took the discipline that belonged to the least known of clan, which were the Banu Hakim, the Assamites at the time, and they claimed that it was theirs and started throwing a bunch of rituals into it to make it look more fancy. I think that in V5 lore, that I think that the Tremere stole Quietus and turned it into thaumaturgy. Let's see. Are there any Tzimisce lore sheets? There are a couple of Tzimisce lore sheets that are homebrew, but there's no full-on Tzimisce lore sheets, unfortunately, unless you count the Triad, where it talks about how the Dracon is trying to rebuild Constantinople and stuff, but it's not really Tzimisce. I wish the Ravno was easier to play with their weakness. Why is it hard? Why is the Ravno weakness hard, Memphis? Have multiple havens. Get a camper. That's what Dawn in Thicker Than Water did. Is she went out when she realized what was going on with her. She went out and got like a bunch of camper vans and parked them in places, and she just rides a moped between each one of them. The Ashira, the Ravno, they named the Bayet Maidrum. I will butcher everything that you give me. The House of Criminals. I get it again, but that sticks in with the lore of the game. They didn't retcon anything. They just made it so that future generations were not stuck dealing with the whole criminal epitaph thing. The Salubri have it pretty tough. It does. It does. The Salubri do have it pretty rough. The whole bleeding from the eye thing. But I think that it's just not explained well. I love Justin Achilles' work. I really do, but I don't think he explained that very well. I personally have seen people who work for World of Darkness run it so that only their amalgams, only the Salubri amalgams cause them to bleed from the head. And with that, you can go with like a welling up, a trickling, and like a full-on crying, not like a explosive torrent liquid unicorn crap happening with them, which, oh my god, I saw I watched the game where I'm so bad at names. So bad at names. The 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 girl who plays the Tremere in LA by Night, completely forgetting her name. Love her as an actor. I think she does a great job. But her playing a Salubri, just it was hilarious watching the issue happen every time it would go off. But I think it's a little bit more subdued than that. Josephine McAdams, thank you guys for pointing that out. She plays an amazing Salubri, and it was just funny to watch. But a lot of the other games that I've seen, it's not as bad, and it's only those disciplines that do it. When I first read it, and it's like whenever they use a discipline, this happens. I was like, okay, so if somebody walks up and smacks one of them, and their fortitude kicks in, are they just going to start just leaking from the head? Anyway, Memphis get an RV truck. Yes, exactly. Good idea. That's exactly what I was saying. Silent. Gundam Tabasco. Welcome, guys. Everybody who I haven't said hi to yet. Thank you for showing up. The weakness is pretty cool. I'm reading everybody's stuff at this point. Salubri and V5 have a bad bane when it comes to food. Blah blah. They are tasty. You got to think about like how pure their blood is, though. So it makes a lot of sense. I do want to point out something that you can now play an evil Salubri, and I love that. I love that. There's nothing stopping you from playing just this demented evil person, especially with the way that the Salubri's power works now, where it doesn't stop pain, it just stops you from caring about pain. So the idea that the Salubri could, after a while, turn their wards into sociopaths who just are unfeeling is just amazing to me. All right, so does anybody have any starting ideas for this character while we're still talking? Because I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm just gonna keep hanging out with you guys because this is a lot of fun. But I wanna build a character sheet because we had a great idea. We're gonna build this character sheet as a community. We're going to come up with something that we can see as like a community creation, and then on Monday I'm gonna do like a lore sheet video wrapped around this character that we've built, so that everybody has access to it in their games. You do wish to ask, Skeleton King? What do you wish to ask? Or did I miss something? It's fun trying to keep up with you guys. What kills me, the slubry, is that I want my warrior disciplines back. You can have them. That's what predator types are for. Be an alley cat salubri. If you're an alley cat salubri, you're gonna get potence or celerity. You can tear some stuff up. Or are you talking about Valorant being like assault? You're probably talking about Valorant. You would love to see me make a Tremere? May I grant you a character who meant nothing yet were useful to your game? Ah, Kaldunic Sorcery. I miss you, Kaldunic Sorcery. Love to see a Pander, a Gangrel, or a Ravno. This is the hard part. This is why I was like, when this was suggested that we do this, it was just going to be a cluster. And then I couldn't get my green screen to work. So I was like, I was going to have Mr. Gon's character sheets in the back and we were just going to fill everything out. But now I'm sitting here with a pen and paper and my camera keeps going blurry because I'm moving around. Any homebrewed amalgams? Um, yeah, starting character, Andy. Let's see. I do not have any personal amalgams yet, but I have been working on a few. Funny enough, to bring back the Salubri thing, I've been working on amalgams for for Valorant, for Warrior Salubri. A Zamitzi comic store owner. I kind of like that. Go for a city gangrel character creation. You know what? I think that's one of the big reasons I love V5 so much is because the Zamitzi really are a sophisticated version of the Gangrel. You know, they're more Gangrel are more primal. The Zamitzi are more just sophisticated, and the same thing goes for the Lasombra and the Hikata. The Lasombra are actually more primal, and the Hikata are more sophisticated. Let's see. I have been working on a character on my own here lately, but I can't decide what clan using the character to determine my own. Okay, I can see that silent. Sometimes like it's better that way though, because you're creating a person, not a you're not creating a vampire. You're creating a person. A Tremere who's discovering how his clan was first built from like 4 different vamp clans. Sent me a character sheet. Hopefully, come in for your liking. Okay, another ruling clan. I've always seen Zamitzi and Gangrel as feuding brothers. You know what? I can see that, but they have a history of getting along, primarily because of joint hatred of the Tremere. Zamitzi, big game hunter. Please do look into your messenger. Okay, look into my messenger. What? Which messenger? Out of curiosity, are you talking Facebook? Are you talking YouTube? I don't know what's going on. I'm looking. I'm trying to find out. You're having me do you're having me do technical things while I'm trying to juggle technical things. Okay, here we go. Okay. You know what? Skeleton King, I'm going to laugh right now because I have always loved when you send me things. I had no idea that you were the same person on Facebook as you are here. I thought you were 2 different people. Harvey, the thief. The biggest that I love that ambition. Make the biggest theft in history. Nosferatu. That is awesome. I love that. Please, that's an amazing character. I'm actually gonna let me open that up in another window so I can look at that and keep an eye on you guys at the same time. Let's see. I'm opening up this character sheet. This is so great. Just looking at the ambition, the make the biggest theft in history. Nosferatu, a bagger. This is nice. I like the idea of let's name every clan, but what I'm trying to say, I like the idea of the Nosferatu thief. I really do. I think that's a lot of fun. Okay. Had an idea for a city Greek gangrel. Change glowing eyes to Reddick's animals. Silvered eyes, maybe. That was a merit in the old system. It's chosen Proteus, I think it was a 2-point merit, where you basically got all the same effects of Protean, but you were allowed to customize them. So instead of like glowing eyes, you could do like choosing at a point to do like fish eyes. I'm going to jump into the water and I'm going to get a membrane over my eyes so I can see underwater without being blinded and stuff. So the silvered eyes actually works very well with that. Make a Zamitzi tattoo artist with an oh, Memphis. I really, really want to do that. What does everybody think about that? A Zamitzi tattoo artist. I really, really like that idea. Of course I'm gonna lean towards Zamitzi. Of course. Let's see. We said, how about a caitiff who is a pander and learned to believe that caitiff are the closest to Cain and is set out to travel from their domain to domain, organize their classes. So you want to make Joseph pander? That's pretty much what that is. Silent is Joseph. Let's see. If you make a Zamitzi perhaps for fun, throw in a noble lineage style thing, like perhaps them being of the lineage of Dracula. You know what? The Dracula stuff needs a lore sheet. I completely agree with you, Elliot. Everyone can band together against the Tremere. You don't really need to do that now. I mean, just kick them. They'll be fine. Cool idea, Elliot. Yes. A Zamitzi cat burglar. That's easy. I don't really see the Zamitzi coming to the point where they're sneaking in and stealing stuff. The Zamitzi just have it in their head that I'm just going to walk in here and take this. Once played a mute Tremere. Good. Sheriff wannabe, no thaumaturgy, just aspects and potence. I can see that because with old thaumaturgy, you needed speech and movement of your hands. I actually played a blind Tremere one time, who was based off of aspects like massively, and he was more of like a fortune teller than anything else. Okay, we have a second for the Zamitzi tattoo artist. We got Gundam also saying Zamitzi tattoo artist. We got Death by Touch saying Zamitzi tattoo artist. I think I'm gonna build a Zamitzi tattoo artist. Does that sound good to everybody? I'm kind of leaning towards the whole Dracula thing also on this one. Never seen a Zamitzi tattoo artist get past concept. Okay. I think we're going with the Zamitzi tattoo artist. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I've got my piece of paper here. You guys can't see this. I'm gonna do this on paper, and then after we're done, I'm gonna put the guy on a PDF, and I want to make him available to everybody, so everybody can have him. Um, but but I really want you guys to tell me when you use him. I'm so interested to see how this is gonna. The best guy supports the tattoo artist. Okay, well if that's the thing, okay, I'm gonna write it. Samitsi. Are you guys just placating me? Because you know I'm partial. The grandkid of Vlad. The Dracula Zamitzi sounds cool too. You know what I was actually thinking is what if he leaned into the Dracula thing a lot. Like what if he really leaned into it? What if he didn't know anything about the whole Dracula being an actual Zamitzi or anything, but like he decided that he was going to play it off and like maybe he owns a tattoo parlor called like Dracula Inc. or something like that, or I don't know, Vlad's Body Arts or something like that, and just really leaned into it. So like all the mirrors in the tattoo parlor are like shaped like coffins, and maybe he has a pet bat in a cage towards the back, something like that. I'll be using him as a Discord character as soon as I get this sheet. There's not really enough Zamitzi SPCs, so I think yeah, we're doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write our World of Darkness. Um, on the that's awful. This is gonna be a lot better when I type it up. I'm gonna go ahead and write our World of Darkness for the Chronicle because he's available to everybody. I really don't give a flying fudge about Sire or anything like that. If anybody has any good names, let me know. I'm actually thinking about just like having him go as like Vlad or something like that, Vladimir. Um, but I want it to be us. I want us to figure something out. The Dracula Zamitzi sounds cool too. Grand Kid of God. Literal pen and paper, kicking it old school. Damn straight we are. Let's see. Not just tattoo artists, but also into body alterations. You know what? I like that. The when I played the other night, actually, on I played in a Roll20 game where the storyteller allowed us to like make characters, but we didn't actually get to play as vampires. I was playing effectively this guy because he was into body modifications. I really think this guy should dress the part though. Like I'm thinking tuxedo vest, tuxedo pants, but like maybe big old biker boots, no shirt on underneath, maybe bald head and some tats and piercings himself. I'm really getting into this guy as a body modifier. Posing as a Toreador? Why? Why is he posing as a Toreador now? Zamitzi tattoo artist infiltrating the Camarilla, posing as a Tremere. Ugh. Ugh. Why? Why is this guy posing as anything now? If they're out of the Sabbat and they can do what they want to do, in V5, they can just do what they want. Uber Dracula wannabe tattoo artist. All right. You know what? Let's do this. I'm sitting here getting all jumpy and stuff, like freaking out. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my book, which I should have had open already, but I didn't because that's me. I don't do those things. I expect everything's to be ready. I expect everything to be ready, but I don't do it myself. All right. Does anybody have any idea what this dude's primary attribute should be? Should it be more of the selling point? So, like socials, should he be more dexterous? Let's see. I'm trying to pull up my book while I'm asking questions. Source books. I think that's it. Of course. It's going to go here. All right. What am I doing? What am I doing? I should just be using. If we're going to do this pen and paper, let's do it right. All right. So what should be his 4 attribute? Dexterity? We got one vote for dexterity, composure or dexterity. You know what? Composure's not a bad idea. I would say I'm leaning towards the composure idea simply because if he's doing body modifications, he's not going to want to like jump on and just feed on. What'd you say, Memphis? Sexy, heavy to rep his abilities with drawing. Yeah, No, it really does. He needs to have that. Dex. We're getting a lot of dexterity. We're gonna go with dexterity. All right. 4 points in dexterity. All right. What's his weakest? What's his number one? We're gonna have freebies. Intelligence or wits? Is that tell you what, if do me a favor and put minimum so that I know what we're talking about right now, because we've got intelligence and wits coming up. I don't want this guy to be an idiot, you know? Strength, stamina, typo from hell. I meant dexterity. Charisma, minimum strength. Okay, so I got attributes flying at me, but what are they for? Strength one. I've always leaned towards that with my Zamitzi, making them a little physically weaker. Intelligence and wit's important for body parts. Composure and just hopping all over the place. Minimum manipulation. You know what? I need manipulation as a tattoo artist because people are coming to you and asking you to alter their bodies. That's a charisma thing. So I think I agree. What does everybody think? Minimum manipulation. You got so many people are just like minimum strength, minimum strength. Low charisma. He acts like he's Dracula was smooth as hell though. If you read the books, strength as weakest. See him as charismatic. I see him as charismatic because you got to talk to people. Okay, everybody is saying strength, so I'm going to go ahead and put strength. Strength as minimum. Am I too loud? I feel like I'm yelling. Charisma is good for talking to clients. Strength would make sense if he's a Drac. Would be a dominate animalism, old clan Zamitzi. Yeah, but we're gonna definitely go with. I definitely want to go with Zamitzi Protean here. I really want to do that. I want to see. I want this guy to be basically Dracula posing. Like he's built uh his job around being a Dracula. You know. I sound fine. Okay, thank you. I feel like I'm yelling. One resolve so he can. No. We're going strength. We're going strength. We got to do something. Let's see. The next one is going to be uh the next one is 3 we need the 3 number 3s. Am I saying that right? Yeah, 3 number 3s. What's our 3 number 3s? Yeah, you're allowed to suggest. Definitely, Skeleton King. Please suggest. What stats would you roll as a tattoo artist? I think if it was standard tattoo artist, we're looking at dexterity and crafts. Everybody is allowed to put their 2 cents in on this one. I do have to put my foot down at some point though, because we're just gonna talk details forever. Let's see. You're just fine. Thank you, Gundam. Composure, resolve, wits, or intelligence. 3 protean, 2 dominate, and a presence. A presence would be a good idea. We might be able to work that in there. If that's going to depend on what his feeding his feeding type's going to be. 3 composure, charisma, and intelligence. You know what? I'm going to agree with that. Composure is going to be massively important to keep yourself from frenzying while you're doing body modifications. So, composure, charisma because you have to deal with customers, and intelligence because I don't want a stupid Samitsi. Plus, I don't know. Those intelligence tests are a killer. Okay, so then the rest are going to be 2. So we got 2 in stamina. We got 2 in manipulation. Oh, we got 2 in wits. And we got 2 in resolve. This looks awful. I don't know if anybody can see what's going on here, but this is what we're looking at right now for attributes. Okay, so we've got our attributes. We got a 1 in strength, a 4 in dexterity. We've got 2 in stamina, 3 in charisma, 2 in manipulation, 3 in composure, 3 in intelligence, 2 in wits, and 2 in resolve. That works for me. Making his willpower a 5. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out the 5 willpower we're not using. And his health is going to be 5. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out the ones that he's not using there. Very cool. Looks beautiful. Thank you. Okay. You can see it. Nice. That's good. Just remember that you're left-handed. I am left-handed. All right. So next we're going to do skills. Skills, in my opinion, are some of the most important parts of this guy. So should we build him as a jack of all trades, a balanced, or a specialist? I think specialist, personally. I think that he should be a specialist that specializes in his craft, in being a body modifier. Personally, if he is 10th generation, which will grant him the necessary skills and experience, we'll figure it out. Specialist, specialist, specialist. Okay, specialist. Okay, so as a specialist, the first thing he's going to get is 1 skill at 4. That should be his crafts. And we're going to go old school on this one. And I'm actually just going to put down body crafts on that. That is body crafts used to be the retest in the old LARP systems if you're using vicissitude and stuff like that. Body crafts will also encompass um, tattoo artistry, piercing, body modifications, tongue splitting, corseting, all those funny, yummy things. Next, we need 3 skills at 3. So what's he got? What are we doing here? Let's see. Crafts, investigation, computers, flesh arts, art programs. I can see that. I can see computers being a thing. We're gonna do computers for one of them. 3 persuasion, so you can talk people into stuff. Finance is a good idea. Persuasion. I'm gonna give him 3 on persuasion because that seems to be popular. I see this guy being very suave. Like you look at him and you're like, oh god, you're terrifying. But when he starts talking, he knows what he's talking about. Athletics. He's big on physical health. I can see that. I'm seeing finance popping up again under Paul there, so I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna go ahead and say finance. He is running a business after all, right? And we need one more. What's a good one? I'm laughing at the athletics, Silent. I'm sorry. Insight, 3 in medicine. You know what, Skeleton King? You got it. That's it. Spelling. I'm gonna give him 3 in medicine. Medicine makes it's a good idea because you got to keep that board of health off your back when you're running a piercing salon. You know. All right, next 3 at 2. 3 at 2, guys. What do we got? What's Andy saying? Knowledge. He once took some art classes, Gothic architecture, life drawing. I like that. I like that. There's no spot for. I mean, there's like minimal spots here for notes. Hold on, I want that. I want this. This is going on there. Took classes in art, Gothic architecture, and life drawing. All right, if we're doing that, one of these two, because we're at the point where it's 3 get 2, that's got to go into academics. All Zamitzi should have 3 in medicine. I agree. Streetwise. Streetwise silence. That makes a lot of sense. 2 in streetwise. We need 2 more. We need 1 more with 2 points. Etiquette. I don't know. I kind of want to make them a little bit rough around the edges. Liminal spaces for inspiration. 2 insight. Streetwise black market. All right, insights popped up a couple of times. Let's go ahead and put one. Let's go ahead and put 2 in insight. All right. So, and then the last thing is 3 skills at 1. So, what are his minimal? Should we do a brawl? Driving, but only knows how to drive a bike with a sidecar. Performance because he likes to play. Woo! Dogs barking. Performance. He likes to. You know what? That's true. That's true. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go give him one per performance. 1 for performance. Brawl is a good min. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and give him 1 for brawl, and we need 1 more. 1 more at 1. Next person who pops up with 1, it's going to be on there. Don't be a smartass. Performance. We've already got performance. I like that for an evening dinner. Let's see. Doesn't need to fight because with a 1 look, yeah. Occult. We're going to do occult. I'm just going to put that on there. All right, so we have that. That's all set up. We got our skills. We got our skills to start with. Right now, we have 1 brawl. We have 4 in crafts. We have 2 in insight, 1 in performance, 3 in persuasion, 2 dots in streetwise, 2 in academics, 3 in finance, 3 in medicine, and 1 in occult. That works for me. Let's get a specialties on there. His academics. I'm gonna go ahead and say, what do you think his specialty his specialty? I can't even speak. What do you think his specialty should be in his academics? I'm thinking. I like that Gothic architecture. I think that sounds cool. We're not on feeding yet. Not on feeding yet. We will get there. Probably next because I love the predator type. We're going by the rules in the book. Fine art, modern art, surrealist art, Gothic era history. History. I like the history. I like Gothic era history. History. We're getting a lot of history, so we're gonna go ahead and say history. History. All right. His crafts is specialized in body crafts, and then he also gets a performance specialty. Roman romantic lit. What's his performance? Acting. That'll actually be really good if he ends up like doing fleshcraft on himself and like going in and pretending to be other people, which a few people were talking about doing. Guitar, performance and guitar. Improv? I like improv. Improv sounds good. I do like the idea that he can shred on some strings. LARPing. LARPing. That's awesome. I think you know what? Improv is good because that's acting that you pull out of your ass. Which is effective slapstick. I'm putting improv. Because then he can just be whoever he needs to be when he needs to be him. Dude, I almost lost it when you said slapstick, Joshua. All right, so we have all that junk out of the way. Next, we need to choose our disciplines. We choose 2 of our clan disciplines. We put 2 dots in one, 1 dot in the other. So I'm thinking the 2 dots should just go into dominate straight out. That way, we already have the prerequisites that we need for his, we already have prerequisites for, Protean. What do you guys think? Slapstick vampire is a great idea. Steal it, Paul. I actually wanna run a game at some point that's more comedy based than drama based. Like a what we do in the shadows. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put dominate as the first power that we get 2 points in. All right. You really want to get that Auspex on there. No, I completely understand. Ooh, you know what? The Auspex makes a lot of sense because he'd be into physical sensations when it comes to getting like pierced and tattoos and stuff. I have several tattoos, like, and after the first one, I was just like, I want to get another one. You know, like it was really that was hard not to just want to do. I'm gonna open up another window over here and V5 dominate. So we're not digging through books. All right. What's everybody saying? I looked away for a second. Aussie boy just saying. Two in Protean. Okay, well, what levels of dominate should he have? Command or mesmerism? Or I'm actually trying to figure out is this is all written weird. I opened up a V5 thing and I'm just like, why? Why did I do this to myself? Is this not the right page? Dominate, yeah. Couldn't you see him doing all right? Yeah, no, I could definitely see him doing lots of traditional um like trying to think of the right way of putting this. I could actually see him doing a lot of traditional like tribal tattoos and stuff. Okay, so cloud memory, cloud memory or compel? What do you guys think? But with a goth twist, nice. Dominate one, compel. Well, I mean, cloud memory. That's where you just make people forget. Oh, is it glitching? I'm sorry. Everybody's with cloud memory. Cloud memory. Let's see. By uttering the phrase "forget," the user can make the dominated victim forget the current moment as well as the past few minutes. You could actually make people just forget their experience getting tattoos, so that they forget that it hurts. Make people forget the social faux pas. I can. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. If he ever messes up, he can make them forget and fix it. You not want to Care Bears tramp stamp. I don't see my guy bringing himself to doing a Care Bears tramp stamp. I like the idea though. You know what? Cloud memory works really well. I think we'll go ahead and put cloud memory. I love the idea of the Care Bears tramp stamp. He messes up, he can vicissitude, fix it up. Yeah, it's like having an eraser. It's great. Okay, and level two. Level two, ooh, you know what? I want to put this out there. We've got Domitor's Favor, which is like a Zamitzi centric vicissitude, which or not vicissitude. It's a Zamitzi centric dominate that's found in the companion. It says kindred are creatures of cruel irony, and the name of this disciplined power is one such example. While conditioned with the Domitor's favor, a thrall with a blood bond to that vampire finds much more difficult to act against their master. Domineering Tzimisce are especially fond of this power, using it to ensure loyalty from their servants. What do you guys think of that one? Letting you guys actually catch up to what I said, I think. I don't know if there's a delay or not. I like it. The Domitor's favor. I don't know, man. Sergeant 2951. You said that's God. That could be God. Never seen it used, so say let's do it. All right, cool. Let's do that. Domitor's favor. Okay, and the number what about the 1 point discipline? I think he needs Protean. I agree. He's going to get a point of Protean. What Protean? What Protean? Auspex. Avid user on the bar against his apprentice. I can see him using this on apprentices and on just employees and stuff because even if you're trying to be modern, you're gonna slip into that Tzimisce mentality of having like underlings. He should have a native New Jersey accent. That's funny. Eyes of the Beast. Eyes of the Beast. The weightless Protean. So he seems to float. All right, so we've got a couple people saying Eyes of the Beast. And our choices here are Eyes of the Beast or Weight of the Feather because we're not getting into the amalgams as of yet. Weightless could be vote for getting hit by cars. You know what? Being weightless is always good for getting hit by cars. Joshua, you are damn right. Weight could be fun, but I'm going with eyes. He says Paul. Um, eyes because it fits with the theme. You know what? That's a very good point. Silent. The Eyes of the Beast does fit with the body modification idea. Yeah, Skeleton King, you're absolutely correct. Your blood is going to force you to act the way of the ancients. Float away on the heat of the fire as well. When Silent and I, Silent Comedy, who's in the chat there, we played together. I made a Tzimisce who had Weight of the Feather, and I also took Potence because I wanted Soaring Leap so that I could like jump over the wall because we were playing like in Mexico. The idea was that I could jump over the border and float down to safety because I was a smuggler. Uses eyes for his art. Both are real cool. Always hard to pick. I agree. It really is on who the character is. And I'm really thinking Eyes of the Beast would be good for this one. Talk about an airhead. All right. Eyes of the Beast. So we're going to go with Protean. And we're going to go with classic Eyes of the Beast. I cannot wait to type this out because my handwriting is awful. I don't know if you guys can see this god awful southpaw handwriting that I have, but it's all there. How could you land the jump? Just keep going. All right, so next we are on predator types. Probably my favorite addition to V5 is predator types. Um, Eyes of the Beast. That's true. That's true. I can use tats. I can tat in darkness. That's cool. I'm a lefty. Looks fine. Thank you. All right. So, what do we think about predator type? What is this guy? This might actually be a chance to have like a Zamitz. Um, hey Albert, it's good to see you. This is a good chance for us to have like a consensualist Zamitzi. Think outside the box there. He's a charmer, but he also knows a bit of the seedy side of the city. He could be an extortionist. You want a tattoo? Give me some blood. When you saying such a my writing is quite literally former teacher, plague bringer. Thank you for the compliment on my writing. Consensualist or a scene queen is good. Hey, Neon Gaming, we got David. David plays in my tabletop game. David is currently playing Valentino Pisanob. Everybody probably knows him very well as Damien. Whenever we say "damn it, Damien," it's because of David. Siren sounds fine to me. Uh, get celerity from your predator type. Let's see. Ooh, farmer or a leech, dude. That's a jump. Do I eat animals or am I a cannibal? That's that is a leap. They I am liking consensualists. Let's see what we got. So right now we're thinking we talked about consensualist. Let's just look at it. Dracula never asked to drink blood, he just took it. I completely agree, Gundam. Scene Queen or Leech. What why are you guys trying to get me killed? Scene Queen for his goth obsession shop. I can see him being a scene queen. I like scene queen too, but let's look over the details. The idea of him being a consensualist is the first thing that pops up. Um, Kindred never feeds against the victim's wills. He may or may not include breaking the masquerade by disclosing that he's a vampire. Um, let's see, you could really play off the whole goth subculture thing as a consensualist. Um, Aspects or fortitude is what it comes with. You gain a dot of humanity. But you do get the dark secret masquerade breacher flaw. And you also gain the flaw prey exclusion of the non-consensualing. Manipulation plus persuasion is his feeding thing. So we're looking at like a 3 in his feeding. Um, I don't know if I'm thinking consensualist. I don't know about Cleaver. Cleaver's Cleaver. Okay, straight out, Cleaver is old Clan Zamitzi. You've got a group of people who work under you. You feed off them exclusively. Persuasion, persuasion specialty for gaslighting. That's old Clan Zamitzi. Why such a thing? Silent. Okay, sorry, I missed the thing. Makes nice with his clients, gets to know them really well, slowly turns their families into buffets. That's really messed up. I know a Cleaver player who does indeed toy around with the masquerade. Shockingly, never breaks it. Yeah, I can see that. What's the flaw where you suffer from the bane from literature? I could see him having to be invited in. That's gonna be folklore bane, where you have to be invited in. Grave robber. Grave robber's fun. Grave robber is that you feed off fresh corpses and people who are in states of mourning. You get a specialty in occult and or medicine, and you get fortitude or oblivion. Could you imagine this guy with oblivion? um, let's see. The next thing that we were talking about, I mentioned extortionist just because that's funny. Intimidation for coercion or larceny security. Dominate potence. Spend 3 dots in contacts and backgrounds. Blah 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 blah. I think it's funny, but I don't think it works. Alucard, yeah, I could see that. Oblivion. That man really. Alucard was a La Sombra. Grave robbers, and no. Let's see. We were talking about scene queen. Okay, scene queen. You add a specialty of etiquette for your specific scene, or leadership specific scene, or streetwise specific scene. You gain a dot in either dominate or potence. That's nice, kind of. I mean, I'm not really interested in the potence. You gain fame. Fame could be good. You get the contact advantage, and you either gain an influence flaw disliked outside of your subculture. That makes sense for a tattoo artist, or the feeding flaw prey exclusion. And you get manipulation plus persuasion. So we're back with the manipulation plus persuasion. Gundam saying Cleaver again. I say Scenes Queen because it's well-known artist. That's gonna pump up my dominate big time if I do that. What if we ask a suggestion here? What if we gave him 2 points in Protean to start with, and then we gave him Scene Queen, and he starts with another level of dominate? Does that sound good to everybody? He could have his own reality show. Scene King. Okay, Scene Queen for the win. We're going to go ahead and give him 2 points of dominate because of Scene Queen, and then 1 point, and then 2 points in Protean. And what level? Let's go ahead and handle his Scene Queen stuff real quick. So, what's he getting as specialty? I would say it's either going to be etiquette or street. The name of this parlor could be Impaler Inc. I like that. I like that. That's a lot better than Dracula Inc., which is what I was thinking. I made it. Hey, Jennifer. And you didn't die tonight. Congratulations. Etiquette. We're on picking out the details for our predator type right now for this character. We are building a Zamitzi tattoo artist, which we're going to share the character sheet when everything's all done. I am lifting it up from time to show you. I couldn't get my green screen to work, so we're actually just doing it on pen and paper here. Etiquette, 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 etiquette. I gotta ask Memphis, the message that you retracted, was it etiquette? So we'll go ahead. Etiquette. We're gonna go ahead and take a point in etiquette on that one. I always like to put a little star next to the ones that we get for free, just so I know. Dragons Ink. Ooh. Ooh. I like the ink. I like that. That maybe Streetwise is more in line with the scene. I mean, it could be, but like knowing how to talk to people who want to get tattoos, you're trying to get their money. You're trying to sell things. Okay, so he gained that extra point in dominate. He gains a point in fame. I gotta flip this thing over now. So he's gonna gain a point in fame for his parlor. I'm just gonna put parlor for right now. Let's see. He gains a contact advantage. Who do you guys think his contact should be? I'm thinking like a I can't speak. My face doesn't work. I'm thinking his publicist, so that like somebody who gets the word out there for him. I'm so sorry, but I barely, and I mean barely, leave my home. Haha. Okay, no problem, Skeleton King. Gotta go. Aw. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been a lot of fun having you here. I'm enjoying talking to everybody. This is a lot of fun. Publicist. I'm just gonna put plot. A lot of sense. As a piercing studio as well as a tattoo, it could be Vlad the Impaler's body art and tattoo. I like that. That's great. Bye. Have fun tonight. His contact is really TV producer, makes tattoo real. Oh my god. I don't want oh my god. Tattoo reality show. I think his fame would be a little higher if we did that. Okay, what else do we get? We have the flaws. What do you guys think? Disliked social flaw or feeding flaw? I think the disliked works. Impaler's body works nice. He needs a naked cat as a mascot. I was thinking like a cartoon vampire with a stake in its chest as his mascot. Disliked, disliked as the flaw. I'm thinking disliked. Yeah, it's popping up more than once. Just to show everybody, I tend to do this. I tend to put the merits up here, the advantages up here, and I put the flaws down here because there's usually one or two lines in between just to break them up. All right, advantages. We are on advantages. Ooh, a rivalry with Kat Von D, dude. What? that's ugh, that's a way to get shot. All right, so we're on flaws. Camilla always hates on Camarillo. Yeah, Samitsi. Yeah. Jealous players, artists, companies. I see it as a general dislike from the community itself because as much help as the dislike by a Toreador that was denied his work, I can see that. But the idea that like the community in general, greater communities tend to dislike tattoo artists and companies like that, which sucks because they bring in so much revenue and so much art into the community. So I could also see that being a thing. His symbol for his shop could be the Zamitzi dragon weaned around the spike. Nice. I like it. I like that a lot. All right, let's see. V5. Just typing things in, seeing if I can find them. Oh, it works. Cool. We need to figure out what is that? I strongly agree. Yeah. We need to figure out what his merits or what advantages and flaws are going to be. So let's go ahead and get the 2 points of flaws out of the way. What do you guys think on that? Disliked by a local religious group who wants to shut down his business, could be headed by a Karen. Nice. Nice. Bringing in the hatred of the Karens. Okay, so 2 points of flaws. Let's go ahead and figure that out. Let's see. There's always shunned and suspect. We're already disliked. I think disliked was replaced, wasn't it? Early riser. Take his flaw back to Dracula. Okay. Well, what flaws are we saying that Dracula has? A client that he messed work up on as an enemy. Folkloric Banes. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the folklore Banes then. Let's see. There is a rule when it comes to like how they're supposed to be set up, and let's see. Folklore Bane. You take aggravated damage from a folklore bane, like ultraviolet light, silver, or holy water. Do you guys think folkloric bane weak against silver? That's going to be hard. As a tattoo artist, as a body modifier, it's going to be really hard to have issues with precious metals. Crosses. He can't enter a place uninvited. Tattoos bleed when he deploys disciplines. Oh, that's interesting. Stigma. Ew, I like that use of stigmata. Speech impediment. Thick Eastern Europe. That's not an impediment. That's sexy. Andy. Folkloric block. Let's see what the blocks say. You must recoil and spend a willpower to face a folkloric block, such as white animals, running water, crosses, etc. What do you guys think? That's a great one. Which one? The uninvited? Bleeding tattoos, definitely. Uninvited, crosses, or running water. Running water is going to be difficult. Okay, what do we classify running water? Are we talking about natural sources of running water? Are we talking about like rivers and stuff like that? Or are you talking like you turn the sink on and it's like, uninvited because that's Old Bane Vampire by older people. I like the idea of he can't do holy symbolia. I think you meant symbols, but I like the word symbolia. Holy water. Just because I could see a person being done by like, okay. I like the idea of the bleeding tats. Okay, we're gonna take modified stigmata. First off, that's a 1 point. We still have room for another one for everybody to play with. Stigmata's happening. So I'm gonna write stigmata. And I'm gonna write down bleeding tattoos. Now it says you bleed from your hands, feet, and head when your hunger becomes intense. So whenever your hunger becomes intense, let's just get the book out because the source I'm using doesn't give like good descriptions. Let's get my wrecked book out. I hate using my book. I love my book, but I hate using my book. Okay. Where is it? I love this idea though. Where is it? Like seriously, where is it? Fame, backgrounds, thin blood. Don't need thin blood. Okay, stigmata. You begin to bleed from open wounds on your hands, feet, forehead when you reach hunger of 4. This attracts attention, leaves traces, may penalize some dice pools, storyteller discretion. Okay. So whenever he hits hunger, his tattoos start bleeding. That's really cool. That's really cool. What did I miss? Frenzy of 1, 2. Prey exclusion tattooed people? No. They're delicious. Being warded off by crosses has just got to be there for this guy if he's going to the whole Dracula vampire thing. Are we doing crosses? If we're doing crosses, let me see how many yeses like held by crosses. There's 26 people on. That's awesome. Sorry, but no. Being warded off by crosses. Be thankful because I have a USB that has all the books, comics. Okay. Okay, so no holy symbols. I'm getting holy symbol banes and no holy symbol banes, so I don't know what to think. See, that was my concern. Um, was the idea that if he has issues with holy symbols, will tattooing holy symbols cause issues for him? Because I can see that being a thing. Prey exclusion that are in his scene. Maybe people he can eat, body mods. He is tattoo. He must have bead. He he riddlery. He literally refuses to do holy symbols. You're gonna lose a lot of customers like that, man. Specific, just proper holy relics. No crosses because, as was mentioned, too many crosses at tat work. Crosses. Are we getting back into slapstick again? Okay, so we need one. What's his flaw then? We need a 1 point flaw. Is he a high functioning addict? I like the idea of the people who you look at and go, that guy's on drugs, not being on drugs at all. I like the idea of them being pure. In my opinion, the whole point is it makes life difficult. What's a few customers? How about garlic? I think the garlic thing's kind of corny, truthfully. Uninvited, we still have the uninvited thing popping up. We could very well do like folklore block, like unable to enter people's homes. Is high functioning addict a merit? Yes, it is. I'm dumb. Sorry. What about uninvited? What about using the folklore bane and having him be unable to enter places without being invited in? Addicted to finding his art victims. That's funny. I mean, there's lots of choices here. We could do adversary. Uninvited is good because a lot of places would be off limits without working on an invite. It adds an old school Zamitzi hospitality. I agree. Uninvited. Okay, cool. Is that going to be a bane or a block? What is that? Let's see. What are the rules here? Let's see. Bane, take aggravated damage from going into a place. You must recoil and spend a willpower. You know what? Let's do block. Block. Yeah. So you'd have to spend a willpower to go inside someplace uninvited. Nice. Just gonna write folklore. Block. Uninvited. Okay, we got those. Okay, we need 7 points in merits or 7 points in advantages. What are we doing here, guys? I think uninvited sounds like a good choice as a block. It is. I see people erasing messages, and I'm like, what are you doing, guys? I want to know. Okay, we got Haven 2. We got Retainer. Haven, little tattoo shop. Okay, Haven's going on there. Haven. We got Retainer. Our our dominate demands that we have at least one retainer. So Retainer. I'm not going to put numbers on these yet. I want to see what we come up with first. Retainer. My boy is pretty. His store and a library. Resources. Resources. We need resources. A retainer named Jonathan. Mask? I don't know. Do we care? I really have a hard time with the idea of any Zamitzi not just being who they are. The retainer must be named. I agree. What are we naming this retainer? Is that Jonathan? Want to give him a revenant? We could do a revenant, but if we do that, the retainer has to have like 3 points in it. Here. Uh, there's actually rules for that. There's rules for that. That's me. Just realized how obnoxious that sounds. There's rules. There's rules to follow. Let's see. Retainer competent enough to act independently, makes lesser problems go away. They are likely a ghoul with traits equivalent to a gifted mortal on top of their supernatural abilities. So that, in my opinion, screams retainer. Or that in my opinion screams revenant. Jonathan Renfield, dude. Must be named Renfield. I could see that being his work name. Why am I blurry? Stop being blurry. Hate this thing. I got a crappy camera. Does anybody have any good suggestions for better cameras? I need a better camera. Okay, must be named Renfield. Revenant rules are in the companion. Kind of. They talk about them, but you basically have to just build them as a high class ghoul. So 3 points in retainers if we're going to do that. Why does he have a revenant though? Don't say because he's a Mitzi. Hey, Matt. Matt Hart's here. Hey, guy. Give him Khaldunic sorcery. Dude, we don't have Khaldunic sorcery in this system. Stop being a butt. You know I want Khaldunism really, really bad. And stop saying sorcery. I'm trying to get the blurry to go away. Anyway. My drink's empty and I'm sad. The Painted Lady lore sheet from Chicago by Night. There are some pretty cool things regarding tattoos. Okay, we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that. You guys are suggesting things that I haven't done yet in Metaplot Monday. Look at this. Look at that. This is just notes because I'm doing that damn Chicago game. Painted Lady. She's that Nosferatu tattoo artist, correct? I don't know where she is. There she is. +1. By a stroke up your companion or snack. Invitations, engraved invitations, scheduled appointment, VIP. Tattoos, piercings, and body modifications by the Painted Lady staff are remarkable. But to receive commission piece excused by... So, okay. A lot of this has to do with just her being awesome. So if you have a specific lore sheet that you guys are interested in me taking, let me know, and we'll look over it together. But, yeah. Retainer sought him out. Stole a revenant from his sire. Revenant sought him out because he thought he was his old master. His revenant is also his secretary. Well, that goes without saying, in my opinion. Maybe it's his sire to keep an eye on him. I could see that. My thought towards revenants before I read anything else, my thought towards revenants is a lot of them are going to use the opportunity that the Sabbat is giving them to break free from the Tzimisce. A lot of the revenants are just going to go full on Sabbat, and the Tzimisce are squeezing their way out of the Sabbat, so they're actually losing a lot of that, unfortunately. Let me get back into what this is. Maybe he started the business a while ago. Loyal family of assistants. So he's has had a loyal family of assistant workers or something, so he is revenants. Okay. Revenants take a little bit more to make. Generations upon generations upon generations. Basically, it's a ritual that is done over ghouls who are interbreeding. That's where revenant families come from. So we can't unfortunately just make a new revenant like that. At least from what I'm getting you saying. I don't think the revenant thing works that well unless he killed his sire. The Sabbat largely left, and there are several family estates in the U.S. Plus, that's true. A lot of revenants are set free effectively because the Sabbat kind of just took off. But that being said, revenants typically don't need a master at all until they're about 300 years old. That's when they start aging. Painted Lady is awesome. Do you okay? What idea of the Painted Lady are you guys thinking of? Because a lot of it has to do with being invited into her club, and I don't want to like limit this dude to Chicago. I have a whole notebook for that book, so yeah. Thank you. Compulsion flaw. Excessive note taking. Kindred iconography. Is that the thing? Is that what you're talking about? Sorry, I'm having trouble keeping up with the chat while I'm trying to dig through this junk. There's so much. There's so much to do. I'm excited because after we're done with Black Sheep, we're gonna get into the sacrifice, and that's just gonna be fun. I just saw it. I just saw it. Where'd it go? Where is it? Is it before the sacrifice? I don't even know where things are. In Chicago by Night? Yes. I've got Chicago by Night. I'm looking for it. I don't even know if you're talking to me. We get to the advantages and things start getting sticky. I don't know where anything is. Okay. Let's be smart and use the index. Okay. Lore sheets. We are looking specifically for the Painted Lady. 282. Just all over the damn place. Painted Lady. Kindred iconography. Okay, that's not a thing that I was looking at. I thought you were talking about that being a level. 282, 278. Well, I'm just actually curious on that. Oh, Kindred iconography, the lore sheet. Thank you. Which level are you thinking? I'm gonna try to catch up while people see that. The Painted Lady could be used as a mala. That's cool. Okay, so hear me out. Really old Revenant sought him out, thinking he was his old master, aka Dracula himself. So, are we talking about the Bisarab Revenant family, which are said to be extinct? Hmm. Sorry, I'm a lore nerd. She is well thought of at Cam, at least. Yep, that's the lore sheet. Does Painted Lady allow kindred tats to be permanent? I think that's her big thing, is that she can tattoo on kindred. Does Painted Lady, Chicago by Night, do like the idea of the Painted Lady as a mala? Me too. Thinking about that. We'll see how much points we have left. Allows it to not be specific. Ability to tap vamps. Renee Bouchard, also named as Renfield. Painted Lady seems to be doing ritual to make ink stick. We'll be using vicissitude to make ink stick. I want to have him. Okay, blah. Let's get back into that. Memphis. I want him to have been an apprentice of the Painted Lady back in the 1960s. He was studying art and found her with a Malkavian. Memphis is like digging into this, and I'm digging it. Grimaldi Revenant wanted to get away from the Sabbat and were the most human. The Grimaldi got a bad rap, man. They really did. Iconographer, trendsetter. Okay, you visited the kindred. You're versed in kindred symbols, able to identify someone's clan by the motifs of their clothing, and could lecture neonates on how and why the imagery has changed in the centuries. Add 2 dice to relevant academic roles. I like iconographer. And trendsetter, you make this look good. Your style catches eyes in Elysium and other kindred to see what you're wearing this week. Add 2 dice to social roles when you're decked out in the imagery of your clan and chosen affiliation. That's nice. I really, really like those. I'm thinking iconographer. What do you guys think on that? Let's see. Viscera Remnants named Renfield. For Kidron Iconography. Hi, Hi, Joe. I like it. Icon sounds good. Okay, we're gonna definitely take Iconographer. That is gonna happen. I like the idea of him being able to give lectures, even though he doesn't look like somebody who would be able to. It's kind of like the idea of the smart Bruja, because they started off as a clan of. Aw, miss you too. Okay, so Kindred Iconography, number 1. Okay, so we're definitely taking that. We actually got a point. We got a point set up. An artist to have that back. I agree that it does make sense for them to have that background. Um, the idea of trendsetter, I think that's something that you could definitely work up in, but I don't know if I want to start with that just yet. We're still trying to fill out the 7 points in advantages here. What would the chosen style of Zamitzi be? Like the super old fashioned Lugosi? I wouldn't go with the whole opera cape thing, but I would definitely go with like blacks and whites being the chosen Zamitzi thing. Maybe old fashioned style clothing, but I'm not. It's not anachronistic. It's more of minimalist. Zamitzi fashion should be minimalistic. Retainer should be loyal but very slow moving old butler. What, like in Tomb Raider? Okay, so right now, 7 points to put in this. We have Kindred Iconography, Iconographer being the first one. So we have 6 points to play around with, and we have a retainer, a resource, and a haven. So right now, if I put any points into these, we could do 2 each to do if we wanted to. Hellraiser Zamitzi. Hellraiser is Zamitzi on Path of Cathari. That's what that is. Must wear blousey shirts with ruffles. Cravat. Wear your cravat. Haven 2, Retainer 3, Resources 1. That's sad. But that actually looks like it goes very well. I am up for what Silent Comedy is saying here. Does everybody agree? Unseemly aura. 2 each. Black and white. My good friend, as I stated to you before, I befriended great artist, paints about Zamitzi. Well, I was just talking about like the Zamitzi stylization. Like when you look at what do they call it? I used to work for Luxottica. Please don't hate me. And Luxottica was very big on the whole you can wear solid colors of black and white with a single item that makes it pop. So that right there is very Zamitzi-esque. The idea of I'm going to wear black slacks, black jacket, a white shirt, and like a red handkerchief that comes out of the pocket or a red tie just to add to it. Small tattoo shop is reasonably to be a 2 dot. Proper revenant would definitely be a 3-point merit. I agree. Yes, Elliot, who's okay. Renfield the retainer must have tattoos of flies and spider. Oh my god. Okay, well, I really don't think we have a choice here. The retainer is being named Renfield. So Renfield. All right, Renfield is put on. I'm gonna put 2 in for the Haven. We got 1 on there. So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 2 more points to put in. I will show you an actual video of it soon. I hope. Okay, sounds good. Working for Lakota isn't why I hate you, Tony. Thanks, Matt. No, me being your storyteller for so many years is why you hate me. Explain where you got the lion, Matt. Let's see. You know that VTM art of Dracula with the coat, gauntlets crossing his arms. I agree. That's a very good old-fashioned, beautiful Zemitzi. Memphis goth punk is amazing, but I could see him working in a cyberpunk for his shop. That's kind of cool. I like that idea. What about steampunk? What if everything was more like old-fashioned? Renfield is his practice piece. Decades pieces of flesh with no ties together. Just a hodgepodge. Andy, that's sick. I like it. I'm going to argue that the retainer named themselves Renfield to fight. I agree. I agree. I think it's part of the shop. If we're doing the whole Dracula motif thing, like anybody who works in that shop should be called a Renfield. Steampunk. Hold on a minute. I know unseemly aura that he doesn't stick out as a ghoul and might more like serving kindred under. I'm not building the retainer right now. That's ugh. That's a lot of work. We need to build this character sheet. Okay, so we have 2 points in Haven, 1 point in retainer, resources, and iconography. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 points is left. Points is 2 points is. I made up a plural. Okay, I'm gonna make the retainer a 2 point. Should we put a third point into Haven? Hear me out. The reason I'm asking if we should do that is because if we put another point into Haven, steampunk sounds so wholesome. Not if you're building wargles out of it. I did that for a little while. Uh, with Haven, we could actually put points into other things like surgery and stuff like that. So we have access to like different rooms and sketchy stuff. Where is he going to be based? Wherever your games are. This character is going to be for everybody. I want to find out where he comes from. Like I want his travels to be documented by you guys. I'm probably going to put him in my game too. But like he's not going to be based specifically anywhere. We still have free points also, so don't forget that. Do we want to put points in Mala for the painted lady? Surgery is great and grim. I agree, and I've got points in medicine. The Haven should be a basement below his heart. For the record, you required us to actually come up with how we got the material components for spells. It's not. We're not going to get into our Tremere battle right now, Matt. A Zemitzi should have a great Haven, but that's just a me thing. No, that's absolutely correct. You should always put points into your Haven. What kind of treasure could you surround? I'm thinking he collects like okay, so as for the compulsion goes with the covetedness, when a storyteller works in that, it's more along the lines of situational. So your character is going to end up with like just a ridiculous hoarder's collection of like junk that they find all over the place. But you should have a base start for your hoard. And I'm thinking that this guy collects preserved tattoos in glass. What do you guys think about that? Like the idea if he has pressed glass with like old flesh in it with tattoos. You like the painted lady? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put that last point. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna put that 7th point into Mala. Painted lady. Okay. So we have a point in Mala for the painted lady. What are you guys saying? What kind of treasures? Blah blah blah. Da, da, da. I'm sorry for blah blah blahing. I realize how rude that sounds. The gamble guy from Bloodline. Yeah. Oh yeah, Gimbal. Ugh. Stanley Gimbal. Second dot and Protean gonna be Fleshcraft, right? Yes, of course it is. We didn't say that, did we? Sorry, let's go ahead and do that. Fleshcraft. Is it Fleshcraft or is it Vicissitude? Hold on. Protean. Amalgam. It's Vicissitude. The first level dominate to the yeah. Vicissitude. So currently right now he can only Fleshcraft on himself. Thank you for reminding me to put that there. Okay, where are we? Tattoo flesh is still alive. I like that. Alive-ish. Rather than glass. Oh, neat. Actual living painting of actual tattoo. Fleshcraft. It's vicissitude. It is vicissitude. Vicissitude is the second level of protean. Vicissitude, fleshcraft is later in the tree. Yes. Wouldn't be a painted lady more potent mala than a 3? It definitely will be. The way that I've always put it is that your point in mala depends on how much that person is willing to help you. It doesn't have anything to do with their power level, but that allows players to have really powerful malas that get better with time if they decide to put points into it. But also, like, you're not stuck in a certain thing, if that makes any sense to anybody. His collection of preserved tattoos are one big living entity of flesh in his basement. Ew. I like it. I like that a lot. Uh, wouldn't be a pain to. Yes, I was just saying that. Which he happily and proudly hangs his own personal wall. Yes, I agree. He is going to build to this. He's basically building a cathedral of flesh out of tattoos. That is correct. Tattoos under glass. Hate to jump in and out, but I've got to get ready for work. Have fun. Bye. Have fun. He has a quilt made of living skin. That's delicious. Reminds him of his first love. What are those blankets made of with a bunch of patches? Cloth. It's a quilt. It's a quilt. Have that. He's a quilt. All right. I think he's got a quilt. He made a Necronomicon art. I like that. He made his own Necronomicon. That's amazing. All right. So we got the advantages done and the predator type stuff done. So what are we at? Ooh. Okay, we're at convictions. Are we gonna do one or three or one, two, or three convictions? Bye, James. Oh my god, it's 4:30. I'm so sorry. Living wall of tattoos. Made a mala. Insanely old. 1,200 years. Refuse. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. It's like you could have a massively just one I'm jumping all over the place. Sorry. Just one touchstone, one conviction. Okay, what's the conviction? I like more. More is fun. Tell you what, why don't we do this? Instead of arguing about the number of convictions, what is everybody's idea for convictions? Show no weakness, go hard or go home. Let's try to go with always and nevers, okay? Just so that we can keep this proper. A smiley face. Honor your words. Interesting. Never waste scraps. I like never waste scraps, but I've no idea how to do it. Never stop changing. Express yourself in your work. Always pursue beautiful art. If more than one conviction, maybe favored customer as a touchstone. That's what I'm thinking. But let's go ahead and figure out the convictions first. Always indulge. That kind of turns him to kind of like a hedonist. He's like verging on Pathic Athari there, but I really want to try to like make him more human. Check this. What if the kindred mixed Vitae into his inks? Would repeat customers turn bloodbound? That's interesting. I like that idea. His first love was the first girl he ever tattooed. Never stopped growing. Never destroy notable art. Transcend through art. I like that. I like the idea of the transcendence. Never stop changing is sounding good. Transcendence through art. Give the gift of vicissitude to as many as possible. That kind of brings me back to the whole lunatic faction idea. The whole idea that how many times can I say idea in a sentence? The whole plot line of vicissitude being a disease and spreading, and I don't know. I'm really glad they dropped that. Blood bonding, tattooing. The tattoo blood bonding thing wouldn't work because ink never hits the bloodstream. That's true. It doesn't really get absorbed into the bloodstream. It's a cool idea, but like scientifically, it wouldn't work. But we are talking about vampires. Only if the buyer licks the paintings. I I don't like the lunatic faction stuff either. I like the lunatic faction, the Shadow Crusade, as something that older Zamitsi did because they hated the younger Zamitsi, but not that they actually believed it. Always seek out one's true nature through art. I like that. Transcend through art is kind of Dragon movie. Always strive to perfect your art. Never let a good canvas go. Never let a good canvas go. I don't want a tattoo. Get in the chair. Dominate. His touchstone is a starving artist. I can see that. You know what? I like that. Always strive. Always grow through your art. Transcendence through art. Hate those who destroy humanity. That's interesting for Zamitsi. Survive the tide. Weather is rising. Huh. The world is your canvas. Indulge. Always starve. Or, whoa. Went to a wrong place there. Always strive. Oh, no, that actually does say that. Always starve. I think you meant strive. I might be wrong. To brand is to own. Like to him. Making a mark on someone is his weird form of ownership. That's a good point. I like that. I think that might be something that is a internal belief in him, but he doesn't realize it. Provoke through art. No, you're fine. It's just I thought I read it and I thought I Skeleton King. No, you're fine. I thought I read starve, but then I'm also dyslexic, so I thought I just said starve. And there's also a Zamitsi faction called the Exsanguinists who starve themselves. So it kind of went in a circle. Refuse to do bad art. Power. You want that Powerpuff Girl tat? Get out now. I'm the only artist. Everyone else want to be a poser. Could use Mala painted lady. I did put the painted lady down as a Mala. As just as a 1 point right now. We will have those free those XP to put in there though. Miss Swan from Mad TV. Oh my god, that's horrible. I'm gonna go ahead and put down um always seek transcendence through art. Well, through your art, I'm gonna put. All right. So who is this person? We were talking about like a starving artist kind of individual. To brand is to own. You know, I like to brand is to own also. Um, how do we do that without him freaking out and frenzying every time somebody else tattoos somebody he's tattooed? How do we do that? Because other people are branding them also. I really love to brand is to own, but like that seems to me like that's gonna screw things up. Art must be convulsive or it must not be done at all. That's the drama? The idea of him freaking out because somebody else has a tattoo? He is covetous. Oh my god. So he's gonna be like, return customers get a discount. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. To brand is to own. Alright, so we have two convictions right now. We have always seek transcendent art and to brand is to own. If we are going to own, I'm assuming that his contact, his publicist, should be his other touchstone for that. What do you guys think? We're starting to sound like serial killers. It's because we're building a vampire. So you're 100% correct. Vincent Van No. He has exclusive clientele. They must meet his rules or be denied. That sounds good. You have to like sign a contract. I like that. Starving artist needs to do art of the macabre. Okay, so random starving artist is one of his touchstones. So, do we want to have a name? Does anybody have a good name for this random starving artist? I'm giving you guys a chance to write stuff for the name. I don't know if I can use. Okay, we have a character in. I don't know if you guys like how many of you guys have actually seen the episode of Black Sheep that came out yesterday, but we have or goddamn, it actually came out like at like maybe 1 a.m. But we actually have a character named Levy, and they're using uh Daniel Levy as the avatar for it. It's hilarious. Timmy, Timmy the starving artist, Vlad. I think the character's name's going to be Vlad. We need somebody, Vincent. Vincent. Kyle Lubson. Do you know a Kyle Lubson? Because that's just like a straight out name there. Was that Donna Bennett? Done. H.P. Lovecraft. Sarah Tennant. Marius. Oh god, that's Sabin Mabel. The initials are S and M. Oh, okay. That's clever. I like it. Joshua, you win in my mind. Timmy won't be killed. Brom. I'm gonna go with Sabin Mabel because I like the fact that the initials are S and M. And obviously, you guys can change this if it doesn't match your thing. Okay, so what I'm thinking is for Sabin, his starving artist, he's the one guy who buys their stuff. Maybe that adds to his hoard also. Like whenever this person buys like makes stuff, he purchases it and like tries to sell it in his shop or he just covets it himself in his basement. Salas Murdoch. I concede to S&M. Thank you, Jennifer. I don't know. My brain is just annoying sometimes. Also, don't choose H.P. Lovecraft. I thought H.P. Lovecraft was just funny. He calls her S&M. Okay. Okay. I can see it. I like that. That's very cool. I like that. I'm going to actually put a little note for that because that's fun. He calls her S&M. That's really cool. I like that. All right. So to brand is to own. I'm thinking should be the publicist. What do you guys think? And if so, I need a name for the publicist. We can do Bram. You want to do Bram for that? Timmy Bram, Jake Bram. Just throwing your names in there now. Sure, absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna do the publicist because to brand is to own is gonna be something that the publicist has like beaten into his head. I like this so much. This is so much fun. This is more time than I've spent building one character, but this is so much fun. Brand Bishop. I like. Okay, yeah. You know what? Let's do Brand Bishop. I looked up and I saw it, and I'm like, that's a catchy name. I can see that because I can see him having a card on his desk that says like Bishop Publications or some shit like that. That's a lot of fun. What's going on? What are you guys talking about? I wasn't paying attention. Was there something Zamitzi don't own? Two Brahm is to own. That's hilarious. That's fun. Okay, so we got the okay. Are we stopping at two or do we want another one? Next is the Sea of Time junk. We're getting pretty close. Oh, actually, sorry, humanity at 7. I forgot. We gotta. You like 2? 2 works for me. I don't think we really need to go any further than that. I think 2 is good. We can always decide on a third. That's true. That's true. In fact, it would probably be a good idea if you guys chose the third one to be like a really popular human NPC in your games. That way, this guy is kind of like stuck in there for something. Stay with 2. Good point. I like it. It works. Cool. All right. So it's my personal goal. So yeah. All right. So guys, how are we going to decide what generation this dude is? If we stick with the standard Sea of Time stuff, um, we said that he was an apprentice in the 60s to the Painted Lady. So that means we could probably do like a neonate, just a straight out neonate. World War One, 10th gen, just straight out, just 10th. You think Incili makes sense? So has this guy been in the Sabbat? Was this guy like a retired Sabbat? Roll a d10. That's not a bad idea. That's usually what we do. Roll a d10. I don't have my dice. I'm a bad gamer. We played Black Sheep last night, so like everything's on the kitchen table. I'm pretty sure I can figure something out here though. Do I have my phone? I was thinking a neonate more recently embraced. I was thinking a neonate more recently embraced too, just because I wanted to stick really well in the whole modern time thing. I have no idea where my phone is. I was gonna say I have a dice emulator on my phone too, but I can't think of it. Neonate more recently. In my game was in the Sabbat. Okay. I like the fact that you're like in my game he was in the Sabbat, like you've been using this guy already for a long time. Very cool with that. Just think it's funny. I think a younger by comparison would be good. Like, and he was modern practice tattoos. That's true. That's true. We got to think about like how modern like body modification really is. And embraced around the time Blade 3 came out, and he got the idea for a tattoo parlor being Dracula themed because of that Dracula store. Silent. I am about to take away your right to talk. That's awful. Google has a dice roller? He was Sabbat, but only to achieve his goal. You know you want to. Oh my god, that's horrible. Dice roller. I did not know that Google had a dice roller. I mean, I guess it makes sense. 10. Interesting. Okay, so how do we want to pull this off? We're going to roll a d10. Lip service to the Sabbat. I think a lot of Zamitzi did that. Child of a crazy Nazi lady. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can see that, but I don't know. I use it all the time. Yes. All right, I'm going to roll this thing. I'm going to tell you what the number is. Sabbat pack dissolved all the time. Yeah, that's true. Roll. I got a 5 on a d10. I rolled a 5. Okay. I thought we were trying to figure out what generation he was going to be straight out with this. Oh, that's cool. I like that. The using it to improvise Star Wars games, D&D game. That's cool. Let's agree that even Nazis have no place in the world of darkness. None can change my mind. I have used them as antagonists. I had one player actually a few years ago. I just was talking about this on the Discord page, I think a month ago. But we had a player who came in with a Bruja skinhead neo-Nazi, and I was like, "This is what you've chosen to bring into the game," and I was like, "Fine, whatever. You're just your ass kicked by a bunch of the other players," and they ended up getting forced into a coterie, and the leader of the coterie was a Bruja, just like they were, but he was Jewish, and he ended up saving her life at one point in time, and she ended up leaving because like her whole perception on reality was changed, which I guess was good and dramatic for the story, but I really just hated having that character there. I agree. I'm not one for having Nazi characters in the game. Let's see. I think he was Sabbat, but he was a bit of a loner. Even then, lip service is always exactly. I just think that's always the way it is. I rolled a 5, so low. So he's 13. Wait, what? What'd you say, Andy? So if you roll low, he's 13. Then 5 would be 11. And so, yeah, maybe 10 if weighted. Okay. Fifth gen sounds fun. No. No Methuselah tattoo artists. Everybody's 5th gen. No need to say you're sorry, Skeleton King. 11th gen. Way 5th gen. Oh my god, why do you guys keep saying 5th gen? Someone said 1 to 5 is neonate. 6. Okay, fine. We have a neonate. I rolled a 5. Cool. So, how do we decide what generation he is? Am I rolling again? If so, I just got a 1, which makes him 13th gen in my opinion, because I would never make anybody a 14th gen unless they chose to be it. Please no, because I Ruskin want to see him in prison, worthless than blood, useful script. Okay. Why would 4th gen let them go? What? Why? Why are we Methuselah? Okay, we're 13th gen. Nutballs. What did we say earlier? Did we said he was a scene queen, right? I didn't write it down. Okay. Scene queen, Zamitzi, 13th gen. Cool. So far, so good. What do we got? I'm thinking 12th, just so he has a chance to sire a full-blooded childer. I don't actually. That's a good choice. That's a good point. I should say that is a very good point. What do you guys think about that? Should we settle on 12th gen just so people can play as child? Because that would be a really cool sire. That's a good way to have like an Anarch city or a Camarilla city. Yeah, I think 12th gen is where we're gonna go. We rolled for 13th, but yeah, let's go 12th. 12th gen. 12th gen. All right. Next. Next. So he's gonna be a 12th gen. Um 15 experience points is really the way we go for the most part when it comes to that kind of thing. Um, in my games, I tend to go on the higher end, and I usually give people like 35 XP to throw into their sheet just for personality wise. Um, add 2 and 3 score. Beckoning. Holy gosh. There's so much talking. We can make it ambiguous. I mean, yeah, I guess we could. I'm gonna put down 12th gen. You guys can just not talk about it because it's not like anybody talks about their gen in game most of the time anyway, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. We can go ahead and spend some XP. I think that's where we're at right now. We're gonna do the 15 points. And I'm thinking that the first thing that we need to do is put some points into his Protean because he's gonna need flesh crafting. I do believe that is the next level of vicissitude that we need. Yeah, fleshcraft. So, and that is a level 3. So, clan discipline, new level times 5. That's 15 points. That's everything if we do that. Does that sound good to everybody? Just go ahead and put the points into that. Sounds good. Just get the discipline. Okay. All right, we're going to do that. We put a third point into Protean for flesh crafting. I think it's so funny that we ended up building a Zamitzi. It's like that's what I wanted to do anyway, but I didn't want to I didn't want to push it. All right, so right now we have some other things to fill out just to get the little backgrounds in. What is his desire? What does he want? Give him more points. Tell you what, I'll let you guys give him more points. We'll just do base book at the moment, and if you guys want to put extra stuff into him, you by all means have the you you by all means have my my blessing. Better relationship with the painted lady. Zamitzi are very interesting. They are my favorite. Desire to be respected by the local sect. Achieve the ultimate shape of beauty. He wants recognition. I'm going to go ahead and put recognition for his desire. But what's his ambition? Your audience knows how to forcing him to make us some easy. Thanks, Andy. Desire to Toreador levels of recognition. He desires a cool nickname. A business deal with the Anarchs and Camarilla as a neutral artist. That's interesting. He wants to achieve a transcended art. I don't know. I think the desire would be good for wanting to, because desire is more of a short term goal, and ambition is more the big thing. More business funded clientele. Searches for the perfect canvas. What is the definition of the perfect canvas? Are we just talking about the person who has the most skin to work on? Reach beyond the limits of his power. Own his own chain of 7-Elevens. Come on, Matt. He just wants to do his thing. And in order to do that, he has to have to nice with the leading political things. Okay. That's actually a thinker. If this guy was tied to a sect, you could make his ambition to be the artist face of that sect. That's very true. I kind of like the idea of him like not wanting to be part of a specific sect though. The idea of like I don't care if you're Cam, I don't care if you're Sabbat, I don't care if you're Anarch. Come to me and I'll tattoo you. I don't care if you're human, I don't care if anything. That does make a lot of sense. Desire to make a cathedral of flesh 2.0 with only full body tattooed ghouls. Clean, clear, beautiful skin, young and supple. Is this a makeup ad? Ambition to be similar or better than the painted lady in whichever city he sets up. Make the perfect canvas. Fuse the canvas. Paint perfectly. Ooh. Inner peace. I like the inner peace thing. That's like almost a hope for Golconda. He's like seeking Golconda through his art. Spread his art across time and space. As many canvases as possible. His ambition is to show how distant he is from the Sabbat. That's pretty internal right there. He feels like if he puts his art on someone, he owns them. Wants to take care of it. Stay out of the sun. Maybe he dreams of covering his playroom with customer wallpaper. Ew, you had me until you said cover his playroom with customer wallpaper. Elevated human through his art. Monopolize the tattoo piercing industry. Twisted Golconda. It really does. You know what that sounds like to me, people? Asya Tahaka. That is the Zamitzi artistic form. Have I gotta look something up. I gotta ask you guys a question. Okay. Have you guys read Dan Brown? There it is. Have you ever read those Dan Brown novels? Because there's the Da Vinci Code, there's Angels and Demons, Inferno, it's The Lost Symbol. Okay. So they made a movie out of Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code, which were I, I'm a Tom Hanks fan. The damn he's a great author. But there's one more of those that I just fell in love with called The Lost Symbol. It's The Lost Symbol. They never made a movie out of it. And it's about this guy who has achieved transcendence through his tattoos and his ritual practices and stuff. Temporis, which you can. Oh my god, I said that yesterday. Skeleton King. I said that yesterday to one of my players. That Temporis, they should make it a dominate plus celerity amalgam. No, I'm not implying that Dan Brown is a Zamitzi. What I'm saying is that book, The Lost Symbol, really makes me think of the idea of Asya Dahaka as a twisted form of Golconda through tattoo work. I'm actually wondering if we just should just go ahead and say that his ambition is Asya Dahaka. Tattooing people for perfection is very Zamitzi. I completely agree. So Asya Dahaka, thoughts? I see one person says that works, Memphis. Restraining their beast through ritual tattoos. Yes, pretty much. Go for the Golconda tattoo thing. All right, I'm gonna do it. I like how I'm saying, like, if I write it down, it's never gonna change. Okay, Asia Dahaka. Concept is Zamitzi tattoo artist. I think that really works. Okay. Do we care? Let's not talk about it. Not true, Bruja. I agree. I'm sorry, the best guy. We will not talk about the true Bruja right now. Um, anything Golconda. Thank you, True Salubri. Um, some of you guys, I'm loving seeing the direct comments here because like I read the comments and like I know which one of you gives me the best ideas for stuff all the time. So I get excited when I see like the Skeleton King and True Salubri here and Silent and you guys are just awesome. Yeah, no, the character sheet's coming out pretty good aside from the crappy handwriting. Planning on running Chicago soon? Yeah, please use them. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing with them. We have two things. Secretly a Bahari could well be. True Bruja or pure propaganda. I agree. Um, okay. So do we care who his sire is? Does he know who his sire is? Trying to give you guys a minute. Um, I'm thinking this guy fits the world so well. He should know who his sire is. Not as important as his Mala. I agree. I agree. Zamitzi are just very high lineage obsessed, so I was wondering if that would be part of him. I think it's better if he doesn't know what his sire is. He's a shovelhead. My only issue is not found a his face what his face model. Oh, okay. So like knowing who he is, he doesn't know. He shouldn't know. Okay, no sire. Well, don't worry about that then. He doesn't know. All right. What's his name? What are we naming this guy? Do we do the Vlad thing? If he's related to Dracula all the way back, that would be great. We know Mina Harker is a vampire, so if he actually that's true. Mina shows up in the core book, I think it is. Shovelhead, daddy issues. Mass embrace. Oh, hey, no, no barking. No, no. His real name or his assumed name? Either way. Either way. Khaldun Shaheen. Maurice Novak. That's the second time you've said that, yeah. His name is Kenny. Kenny. Victor Blod Mercy. Mercy. Wow. That was just a hard thing for me to say for some reason. Dan Brown. Okay, look, I brought it up because the novel struck to mind, not for you guys to make fun of me. Doggo should go say in a character's name. Yeah, that's Nord. He's my baby. I've had him for like 9 years now. It's my little guy. Constantine. A normal name they're replaced with Vlad. I think Vlad should be a nickname. I really do. I think that should be like his work name, his performing name. If he doesn't know, how hilarious would it be that his sire was a false Dracula in the Sabbat guy? Milk meme? Constantine? Do you guys really want to go with Constantine as a name? Not what you have made here, but been thinking of the red dragon. Mental patient is tattooed. Okay, very cool. Vincent Constantine. Harlan Garrett. That's just out of nowhere. I like that. Norm. Normal name is Norm. Constantine. We got another Constantine. Vlad Lugosi. That sounds like his business name. Like that's what he calls himself at work. I'm gonna write Vlad Lugosi. Um, for work. It's not his real name. That's dumb. As his real name. I love the character Constantine too. I do have to say, Jennifer, the reason I'm kind of avoiding the idea of using Constantine is because my very first character ever, his last name was Constantine. There's a false Dracula, but he's a Malkavian. Yes. Otto von. I can't pronounce real words, and you're making shit up. Go with Constantine. I don't want to. Just the first name, Abner. 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 Ugh. Clarence Costa. Come on, guys. He runs the Tepes tattoo parlor. That's funny. People love Constantine. Riker Constantine. Fine. We'll put Constantine down as his last name. I really love the name. That's my problem. All right, we need a Brad Brad Stepish. I like that one. His name, name him Alexei Constantine. Kevin John Michael. Okay, I'm adding everything that you guys are saying to Constantine right now. So I now have Kevin John Michael Constantine, Alexander Constantine, Brad Tepes Constantine, Luke Constantine, Alexander Constantine. Give him a bad hip. Oh, sorry. My brain went to like injuries. Give him a bad hip hop name. Jonathan Constantine, Christoph Constantine. Oh, come on, guys. What do you guys think? Jonathan, Christoph? What do you guys think of those two? Because we're going to do Constantine upon request. Andy Pickle, Otto Von reminds me of the Otto Von Tischlicker joke. Jesus. Bradley in Tyler. Christoph. We got 2 Christophs. We got 3 Christophs. If we get one more Christoph, I'll go with Christoph. I like Christoph. Okay. Christoph. Yeah, you know what? The Void. I like Christoph from the old VTM game. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and name him Christoph after Christoph. I cannot remember his last name. Christoph Romuald? I don't remember. Christoph. Yes, his initials are CC. Christoph. All right. We have a character sheet that is 100% formed, base book, and I'm going to type this thing out. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to put this up for everybody, probably on the community page, so that people have access to using it. I want to hear CVC. I really want to hear what everybody has to say about this. If anybody's using it, how they're using it, that would just be great. Yeah. So, how like does anybody want to do anything else? Like CC Rider. um so we've been going at this for almost 3 hours now. Does anybody have any Q&A stuff or anything like that? Yes, nice job, peeps. Memphis is absolutely correct. We have sired a vampire tonight. We've sired Zamitzi, which makes me very, very happy, being my favorite clan. I'm not currently running a game, but he will run a shop called the Tepes Tattoo Parlor in my next game. That's awesome. Can't wait to see him. Abomination. Yeah, his horror form is going to be amazing. I finished my Bangalore sheet. I am allowed to ask of you to see it. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, please. If anybody wants me to review things privately, let me know. If anybody wants me to review things publicly, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. I'm going to submit the sheet to play this guy. Very cool. How's Black Sheep going? Oh my god. Okay, so last night we did our um fourth fourth yes, we did our fourth session. Um and it's going insane. I'm loving how intricate the relationships between the SPCs, retainers, and things like that are going. It's just been incredible. If you've seen the third episode, which I uploaded last night, you know that we've introduced two more players. We've introduced um, Levy, who is a straight out Giovanni that their sire found them through like a an internet lineage site kind of thing. They found out he was a distant relative to the Giovanni. And then we also introduced Paul Milliner, who is an elderly guy who had a heart attack, and his embraced grandchild, his embraced grandson, panicked and embraced him. And just I love I love the familial bond that all these people have with their retainers. So Black Sheep's going great, Jennifer. I'm going to have him connect two wiener dogs together. Happy birthday, Christoph Constantine. Yes. You know what? I'm going to write that. I'm going to do that. He was embraced. Age of death, date of death is July 9th, 2022. It doesn't have to be that. I'm just writing that down to remember when we made him. What else we got? Happy birthday. One of his touchstones refuses to call him Vlad. They call him CC. That's probably the starving artist. Um, let's see. Got to throw in a Salubri someday. Agreed. Agreed. I really want to. I have a Salubri SPC sitting on the back burner that just needs to be found at this point. Zulu covered in glowing tattoos. Agreed. Nice. We're so pretty. Thanks and good night. Thank you, Skeleton King, for everything. Andy Pickles of his touchstone refuses to call him Vlad. Yes. If you do character reviews, I have a Ventru. I'm going to play for my friends. Camp. You know what? The Primogen. There's the YouTuber, the Primogen. I'm sure you guys have seen him. The guy's amazing. He's probably like the biggest inspiration I have to actually starting this channel. He does character reviews for people um that are like their characters, and maybe I should start doing something like that for you guys, because you guys come up with so many great things, and doing like a character history review for your characters would be a lot of fun. I'm trying to catch up on this. You do character reviews? Yeah. Component today. Yes, Levi is fun, and outlandish and overly emotional and makes a good time. Nosferatu riding in the ocean on the belly of a Gould. Yes, you know what? I've seen that too, in the idea that the Nosferatu antediluvian is riding in the belly of a Gould dinosaur. That was actually in the Golconda books, I think. Golconda in the Gehenna books, I think. A shop employee that steals samples. The shop doesn't have samples. I'm glad to see you guys are listening to this, because that was so much fun. That's a cool embrace story. What embrace story, Matt? Death Day, July 9th. Happy birthday to you. Hey Gwen, make sure you double check you saved your work. Yes, I know, Gwen. Gwen and I had a very interesting thing. Gwen 211 here is the player of Lorenzo Putinesca in my game, and we had an incident with my gremlins for my computer, and uh his his embrace story didn't save, so we had to reshoot it. Hard copy, baby. That's right, hard copy. His revenant calls him Buffy. I made a gangrel but never actually got to play VTM long ago. I'm sorry, that sucks. Could use my group Unbroken Circle. A group of true salubri trying to reconnect the salubri. That's nice. That's cool. Do you guys trust the Incarnu? Like how like I see them as probably being one of the more dirty organizations. Now that's scary. Is a Mitzi tattoo artist or a Malkavian anti-tribute therapist? Ugh, that's good point. Good point. Have a good night, Matt. Thank you. If you do, let me know. Got a huge Google Doc particular one. Very cool. I'd like to hear some more of your LARPing stories. Okay. Um, Probably not tonight because we've been doing this for 3 hours. But I do the stories of LARPing of LARPing past, and I do really need to put more up there. I've been really dragged down with the games and the editing and everything that I've been doing. Let's see. Review your ministry character, Jennifer? Charity? She's been so amazing and playing everything. Okay. I am so up. LARP story time, please. Oh my god. I mean, I really just I don't know where to start. That's the problem. Is I LARPed for years and years and years. Um I got, you know what? I've got a good one. I've recently started playing Hunter the Reckoning with my 15-year-old and 18-year-old kids and their friends. And it's the new system, Hunter 5. It's amazing. It goes great. Uh, but while we were playing through, I was trying to give them examples of stuff that had happened. And there was a very short time. Gwen knows this, that we played Hunter, Blue Book Hunter from the old system, which was not Reckoning. It's just standard humans having to outsmart supernaturals. And oh my god, what ended up happening was half of the group was arrested and half of the group was killed on the final night because they ended up going after a vampire who had set himself up for a political coup of a city just to get them. This damn vampire ended up like he was a Zamitzi because it was my big Zamitzi that I played forever, and he ended up making a retainer of his into him, and he was running for mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and he ended up killing him and setting up these hunters that were after the Zamitzi, and so the the half that died found a hive of BSDs. So there's really no story there. They died. That's they were dumb and they walked into a BSD hive. But the other ones who didn't go went to a bar and were sitting around talking just in time to see the news report about how the guy was murdered, and then the cops showed up and arrested them. So it was pretty sick. It was a lot of fun. But I mean, that's a very short LARP story, but that one was a very fun thing to do. Playing Hunter was a good time. Malkavian therapist is pretty serious. Yeah, yeah. Well, Malkavian Primogen in my Portland game is the guy who owns the mental hospital. Incano is the scariest because one can never really know what their true motives are. Agreed. Considering most are salubri, at least the main ruling council. Are they? Like, are we still talking Incano? Are the ruling council? I know Elliot Bishop here isn't Dracula supposed to be part of the Incarno? I think he is. I'm not really sure how the Incarno works. I think I avoided learning about that so I could enjoy the game without having too much knowledge. How's the Hunter game coming along? The one that's running right now, we've only had one session of play. We did a character creation day and then we did the one session. And it was a lot. It was twisted. I really want to do a recap on the channel. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But the game was set in Mexico. The kids were playing high school graduates who got sent to Mexico on a school trip, and it was this whole cluster of things. But anyway, I will definitely do a recap of that because it was so much fun. Swan Song showed us how scary Malkavian. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play Swan Song yet. Just got off work, so I got all night. The group you said You traumatized. Oh God. Yeah, traumatized. I actually, on occasion, it hasn't happened in a while, but for a long time after one of the plot lines I ran, I used to get like calls at 3 o'clock in the morning from one of the players who went through one of my like first plot lines ever because he would have nightmares and he wanted me to suffer. So he would call me and bitch about nightmares. Never been off put or scared of a hunter till seeing Brennan playing a true believer in LA by Night. Yeah, that was a freaky hunter. That was a damn good hunter. Most in Kanu are not salubri, though there are some I can see. More than one Dracula. There seems to be more than one Dracula. I can see that being somebody that vampires are claiming to be. Almost 4 a.m. here. Another game tomorrow. Get some sleep. Yes, please. Good night. Have a good night, Jennifer. The Incano, like I'm just trying to read what everybody's saying before I sign off since we've been doing this for 3 hours. The Incano have extra layer of jihad on top of the jihad without jihad knowing it's being manipulated by the jihad. I couldn't have said that. Silent, thank you. There are those words, not mine. Who won the battle of wills, Salat or Salubri? That's a good question. Personally, I think they're both. I think up until recently, because V5 axed him, I think that it was a tie. I think that whenever Tremere disappeared, that it was Salubri taking over and doing stuff. One night, you and me and Cole should come on and tell some LARP. I agree. Does that sound good to everybody? Should we have like an old school like LARPathon storytelling session? You've been MVP, Jennifer. Thank you. That's true, Jennifer. Thank you for all of your additions to the conversation. Zamitzi won the fight. I can't disagree. I've read the Gehenna book, and Zamitzi definitely did kind of win that fight. He killed both, or the other souls walk again. Do I watch any anime or read any manga? Not anymore. I think the art is beautiful. I think the storytelling is amazing because there's just certain stories you can't tell in live action. It's just true. I mean, even our movies that we have now are not truly live action with the computer editing and everything. Practical effects are amazing to watch, but there's just so many things out there that are just how could you accomplish it? I used to be a high ranking member in an anime club in high school, and we watched all those like hard to find banned animes, and we had a really bad teacher. We had a really bad teacher who pretty much let us watch anything, and I'm talking like some hardcore nasty stuff in school during that, and we had a lot of fun. I found out a little while ago that teacher went to jail for selling drugs to kids, but we should not have been left alone with him. Um, but I kind of fell out of it. Um, I don't really know when. I think actually when I started gaming, I found a new. When I started playing Vampire the Masquerade, I just found a new um, outlet for my creative process, and I could do it, not just watch it. So I don't really watch much of anything nowadays, aside from like YouTube videos and lore videos and stuff like that, because this is what I love doing. But I used to watch anime. I just don't anymore. That was really long winded for no reason. Let's see. Trying to find where I was. More involvement from the players will always be true, true. And I gotta say, like we've story told for each other mostly. Like Gwen is an amazing storyteller when it comes to werewolf and some darker vampire tales, and Cole was my first introduction into LARP and vampire and all that stuff. So having them on is always a pleasure, and I love the fact that they play game with us now. Do we have any info on V5 gargoyles? Not really, but I assume that the gargoyle powers are going to be amalgams between Protean and Fortitude, Protean and Potence, and stuff like that. So we're probably looking at Potence, Fortitude, and Protean. Uh, is he at the Incarnu Castle? Dracula? I think so, if you guys are still talking about that. More involvement, players will always welcome. Totally watch that. Cool. And there is a Gehenna scenario where Tremere used the true name of humanity to destroy Zemitzi, but botched his role. That's interesting. I kind of want to see that. I don't think I've seen that in the book. Speaking of LARP, thoughts on Saturnalia? Thoughts on Saturnalia? I want to go. I want to go so freaking bad. I really, really want to go. Those are my thoughts towards Saturnalia. This is going to be the largest, most detailed LARP. I've read everything on it. I've watched every interview, and I'm so jealous of any of you who get to go because it's over. I think it's in 27 venues where they're going to be walking around. It's going to be very scene specific on how things are going. And oh my God, I'm so freaking jealous. That is my thought on Saturnalia. Zamitzi win every fight. Agreed. You need to have people show you character sheets on stream. Okay. I will figure out how to do that. I'm learning. I'm not very good with the technical stuff, but I'm learning how to do this, and I want more live streams like this because this has been a blast. Let's see. You need to have. I just read that one. Nothing official, but there are some decent homebrews out there. There are 3x3 eyes. Yes. What's the story about the state seized fungus growing under Jersey being Zamitzi? I think I think that was like all under New York and stuff. That was a preempt for the Gehenna scenario where the Zamitzi Antediluvian's physical form busts through the streets of Manhattan. Um, it's just something they haven't touched. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with it, if they do anything with it. It was considered rumor in the Vampire the Masquerade canon, but originally what that was the Obertus Revenant family brought the Elder after it was reborn through Lugoj to the New World and put it in a place where it would eventually be underneath New York City. I haven't heard them say Jersey, but that I mean, I wouldn't doubt that also. There's so much stuff. Isn't there supposedly a book due out for more than blood alchemy and blood sorcery they covered in World of Darkness news? No official. I think so. I think you're actually talking about the Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition player's guide. I'm excited about that. From what I understand, it's supposed to have everything in it. It's supposed to have all the clans, all the disciplines. It's basically their way of fixing how disorganized some of the V5 early release stuff was. I'm looking forward to that. If you ever start another game, got to do a raffle to see who gets in. Online stuff scares me. Online games, oh my God, I'll buy 6 tickets. I want to do an online game. In fact, Silent Comedy and I were discussing the concept of having the 1,000 subscriber celebration be the introduction of a short run, like 5 or 6 episode chronicle, where we invite like 6 or 7 of you guys to come in and play. But then I was like, 6 or 7 out of 1,000, that's gonna suck. I can't do any more than 6 or 7 because online gaming is just confusing. Um, but the idea was to take the plot line from the video game Blood Hunt and turn it into an actual story that everybody can play out. Let's see. I did, Silent. I did massively enjoy this live stream because I got to hang out with you guys. This is something I think we need to figure out doing more than often. I'm glad that you guys have enjoyed this. As cheap as it is, I was really hoping to be able to have the green screen work and actually have you guys see the character sheet being built up, but it did not happen that way. I still had a great time though. Bye, Memphis. Thank you for coming. You've been great. Marcus Vitel, we know what's happened to him. Yes, we do. There's many conflicting reports in V5. I swore he met final death. He did not meet final death. In fact, there's a massive conflicting storyline here, especially with the way that Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition disciplines work. Um, so Theo Bell and I believe Jan Peterson was with them at the time, were attacked and attacked Marcus Vitel in a garage under a car. It was ridiculous. They shot the hell out of it. From what I understand, that was not meant to be Vitel. That was supposed to be a shadow doppelganger, which was a level of obtenebration that no longer exists in V5. So he escaped due to shadow clone. He then retook over Washington, D.C., and now in Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, Marcus Vitel, from what I understand, is the emperor. It's the prince, but the emperor of Washington, D.C., that it is a completely independent city. And the main concept of that whole thing is he's trying to make sure that none of the sects, the Camarilla or the Anarchs, can take over Washington and be in control of a world ruling power. And the only rules there are don't piss off Marcus. That is that there is an ancient Roman legionnaire emperor in charge of Washington D.C. and he lets everybody do whatever the hell they want in his city as long as they don't step on his toes. That's the story of Marcus Vitel, from what I understand. Let's see. So I don't know why I did that. I read Memphis's gotta go later. Let's see. I got you, bro. Let me play. And I'll worry about the tech stuff. Silent, I will take you up on that. If you and I want to sit down and actually work on that, if you can do the tech stuff, I'll be your storyteller. I'm happy with that, Silent. Online games, random players are tough. Flakes and bad apples are too prevalent. You know what? I completely agree, Joshua, but I trust my community here. I have never had a problem with this community. You guys are amazing. You guys have helped me grow, and I am so happy that all of you are here. I've done game with 7 people. It's a cluster. Not VTM, but I didn't think it was going to be a big deal when it came to numbers because the Vampire the Masquerade LARP that I got involved in had 275 people in it. That's a lot. When I took over, the most I've ever played with was 35. I had 35 active players in the game who showed up every single week. I had 15 gangrel. That was amazing. In a city where gangrel had the most people in the clan. It was amazing. We did the online game. Thicker Than Water, this rendition of Thicker Than Water actually started off as an online game. There's a couple members of our community who actually played with us. And it was amazing. We had a lot of fun, but there was so many problems with Roll20 and Discord that just made the game impossible to keep playing. And we ended up canceling after I think 5 sessions of online, and we went to tabletop exclusively. And the only people who were able to play were the people who live in the city that I live in. We currently have 6 players, I want to say. Hold on. Serendipity, Daviga, Gwen, Cole, David, and Ablin. So yeah, we have 6 players, not including myself. And the only thing that I have a problem with it is I don't want to expand the game any further than 6 players on my tabletop because I don't feel that I can give the players enough attention each if I have any more, which really sucks because there's a couple of people who really want to join us and I'd love to, but I don't want. I don't have any room at my table. if everybody's there. I mean, as it is, if all 6 players are there, I have to have a chair off to the side, or I have to stand and storytell for everybody at the table. But also, I don't want to have anybody feel like they're not getting the one-on-one time that they need. Sorry, that went a little sappy, but it's true. Where are we? What happened to the sheriff of Portland? Um, what do you mean? What happened to the sheriff of Portland? Um, Sorry, I've got nearly 20 years of lore going on in my head right now when people ask me Portland questions. The last sheriff of Portland was Monroff. What happened to Monroff? Monroff is still there. Monroff is in the shadows doing what he does. He's probably not going to give up his city, even after, if the Camarilla does pull out like they promised they're going to do, if the Anarchs win um, this whole bet thing, he's probably still not going to go anywhere. Jacob Monroff he loves his city and he's not going to go anywhere. And that's just that. He's going to be the scary cowboy that lives in the sewers for the rest of his life. Let's see. Great setup for any salubri trying to come out of hiding. The idea wasn't to just 7 randos. Yeah, we actually had a really good the idea for doing the Blood Hunt video game was not to have just 7 randoms. I wanted to talk to people, find out who was actually interested in playing, who would be able to play because of time zones and all that, but also people who are willing to put in um basically be able to give us a damn good cinematic experience. People who are willing to give a damn good cinematic experience that everybody was going to love and enjoy. Done, my dude. Jan Peterzoon is a whole other issue that rattles my Ventru brain. Was my fave Ventru. We don't know if he died in V5. Yeah, you know what? The the common rumor is that Peterzoon is dead, but I do believe that he and Theo Bell had a mutual understanding of things that were going on. Peterzoon knew that he was being taken advantage of and dominated by his sire. Peterzoon knew that he had left himself clues on what was going on. I don't think Peterzoon's dead. I hope Peterzoon's not dead because I agree with you. He's my favorite Venture too. And he's the reason why I fell in love with that clan. Um, just his feeding alone is so twisted, but also sympathetic at the same time. He screwed himself with the way things are set up in his ability to find food. But like, I do believe that he may have helped Theo plan the attack in Prague. Just my opinion. So we might have Theo, Tyler, and Peterzoon running around organizing a new anarch uprising. Maybe we'll get the scrapped idea of the Neftali back. The Neftali was a subsect of the Camarilla that did not say that Andaluvians didn't exist. They said that they did, and they spent all their resources trying to find out how to stop them. So that might be a thing. Mithras is clearly the best Ventru. Mithras is clearly the most powerful Ventru, but I still think he's a dick. Uh, throw my comment out the window. Did I miss a comment? I've done a game with 7 facing unnecessary stress. I didn't mean to throw it out the window. Let's see. Silent again. And I think we were considering to have like 4 people, 1 Bruja, 1 Toreador, 1 Nos, and 1 Ventru, and using Outstar's Blood Hunt character builds for the PCs. Yes, that is exactly what I wanted to do, because it would allow us to have the healing power of the door. Plus, I think Silent, you came up with the idea of having either traversal or uncanny grip, so that we could actually do the whole climbing of the walls thing, which was a damn good idea. Used to love playing the Jihad named vampire card game. Not as cool as VTM. You know what? I own some of the cards. I actually own the starter set for the 5th edition based Jihad Eternal Struggle, and I still have not been able to learn how to play it yet. How are you liking running a one clan game? Oh my god, it's so much fun. If anybody is gonna run a one clan game, Hecata is the game to do because there's like a dozen bloodlines you can throw in there, and they might all have access to Oblivion. But if you let them all have access to Hecata and their old bloodline powers, it stretches into such weird territories. Um, I love the fact that they all have this mentality of we're cousins, family, let's get along. But then there's also this like, do we trust them? How can we trust them? This person's doing this person's doing that. I'm having so much fun with it. On a side note to that, with the stories of LARPers past, I don't. Cole's not on here. I don't think. If Cole's watching this, they're staying quiet. But this plot line that I'm running, this Black Sheep plot line, is slightly based off of old plot lines that Thicker Than Water already had to deal with the Alexander McCarthy character, but also a plot line that Cole themselves wrote that affected me as a gamer and taught me how to play while I was playing a Giovanni in their game years ago. So I don't know if they've caught on to that yet or not, but that it really is completely intertwined from my old plot line and Cole's old Giovanni plot line. Let's see. One clan coteries get a lot of attention because they make such strong political blocks. I agree. I agree. Running a game where your coterie is one clan is a thing, but running a game where your sect is all one clan, that's where the fun comes in. You're just a few minutes behind the chat. Okay. Well, that's a thing. Hecate are a bit different because bloodline's a thing. Exactly. That's what I was just saying. If you're recording the game, plug where you can find them. Oh, definitely. We're recording the game. We're recording the game. The game can be found in the Thicker Than Water Black Sheep playlist. It actually says TTW Black Sheep. That's where you can find it. We've only got 3 episodes out right now. We just got done playing the 4th episode last night. I need to start editing that tomorrow. But it's been intense and it's been amazing. And if you guys are afraid of being stuck for a 4-hour ride, like a lot of the other games are doing, we did limit our play time to about 11, so we usually go till midnight. Um, but when it comes to like intermission time and getting game ready and getting everybody going, we're actually playing for about 2.5 hours now, so it's not as daunting as listening to like a 4 to 5 hour recording. Not to mention, I do try to chop out some of the bits in editing that doesn't matter. I like Cappoceans, but they are no more. No, that's not true, Andy. They're still here. They've blended in well with the Harbingers of Usher. There are actual Cappadocians that have blend in with the Harbingers. So they are there. They're just not different enough from the Harbingers to have just their own lore sheet. That's why they went from Harbingers of Skull to the Harbingers of Usher. Hecata have such an advantage without pesky beckoning as well. You know the Capuchin, who I'm fairly certain is Lazarus. I'm pretty sure the Capuchin is Lazarus also. Joshua. Yes, thank you, Andy, for mentioning that. Talking about Thicker Than Water on Voivode's channel. I hit the end of my actual playlist, so this is getting added to things. There's also a Thicker Than Water channel, Thicker Than Water character generation, and episode 0 as well. I think yes, actually, that's true. I didn't think about that. Each of these characters in Black Sheep have a session 0, and they also have a character creation video. We actually, for the most part, did the character creation and then jumped right into the session zeros. And oh my god, I am never doing another game without having session zeros again. Being there for the characters creation has been amazing. Um, it's really beautiful to be able to be involved in that. The way that I'm introducing it is I'm getting the character creation videos out when I can. I'm not stressing on that. But as far as the session zeros are going, we're doing an episode of Black Sheep and an episode character creation, and an episode of Black Sheep and then a character creation. And the reason why we're doing that is so that you guys get to see the characters in action, see how they act as their character histories become unfolded to you. Um, because and we're also going in in time order in words. We're also going in canonical order when it comes to like when things are coming out. So the first one was Hattie, who's the oldest character, followed by um, David's character uh, Valentino, who was embraced after that. So that's how those are coming out. If that makes any sense to anybody. Reading all the things. Well, I hope my actual plays are fun. There's a few hours of them on there if you guys want to check those out. Session zeros are totally essential. I completely agree now. I've been role playing and storytelling for almost 2 decades now, and I now see the importance of a session zero. Session zeros are the best. Some of my best sessions grew out of a session zero. Just going, yes, I agree. I think that's actually funny, and I'm going to throw Gwen under the bus here. when I did his his character interview, his player interview, he said like the one clan that he had no interest in playing was the Giovanni of any kind, and now he's just enjoying the hell out of playing his Hikata. So yeah, all right, guys, we have been doing this for 3.5 hours, so I think I'm going to go ahead and round this up. Does anybody have anything else they want to add before we go? Other than that, I think it's time that we end this. I think 3.5 hours is going to be my limit for this first time. Um, but once I can get everything figured out on how to do these better, I'm going to maybe we'll do video game plays or something like that, because Bloodlines 2, when it actually eventually comes out, if it ever does, that's why I built this channel, so that I had a place to play Bloodlines 2. Thank you for live streaming, taking all of our comments. Have yourself a great night, man. Thank you. Thank you. Not to plug someone else, but no, dude, plug. Plug all you want. Jason Carl is a freaking master storyteller. I love the fact that we get to watch him in action. I would love to sit down and pick his brain at some point in time. That would be amazing. Just because like his storytelling style influences mine a lot. Other than YouTube, how do I get to notified of when you are streaming? I don't know. This is my first stream. I've never done anything like this before. I think we might try to make this maybe a bi-weekly thing or a weekly thing. I'm not sure, but this has definitely been a lot of fun. And we are on Discord. We are on Facebook. And we are also, if anybody's interested, we are also on Patreon if anybody wants to help out with basically upping the productivity and the technical glitteriness of this. That would be grand if anybody wants to help out with that. What else? What else? Will you do my research to help YouTube? I'll do my research. Thank you, Silent. You're awesome. I'm so glad. Like some of you guys have become amazing friends. Like not just community members in this, but like I've met so many people that I just have chats with now, and I talk through Messenger and I talk on Discord and stuff. You guys are just awesome. YouTube hates me. I'm sorry, Joshua. I will always give you guys like several days notice on the community page. And I get so excited about these things, I put it everywhere. So if you're on the Discord, you'll see it there. If you're on the Facebook, you'll see it there. Thank you. It was great. Thank you, Salubri. You're awesome. You know what, Andy? You guys are freaking awesome. I got to say that the community is so strong, and everybody gets along with everybody. And I have never seen any issues come out of this, and that's just ridiculous for 1,000 people. Legit honk. OG Bloodlines playthrough would be pretty cool, or Redemption. Hey, hey, legit honk. Just to let you know, if you scroll through my older playlists, there are full playthroughs of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines for most of the clans. When Bloodlines 2 was announced, I made this channel. And the first thing that I did was hopped on and I just started playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines because I was like, I'm going to do every clan. And I think I did most of them. I stopped doing them because people didn't seem very interested. I only had like 15, 20 people watching. But maybe we'll do it for live streams. That sounds like a lot of fun because then I can actually talk to you guys while this is happening. Discord plug. Yes, Discord. We do have Discord. It's our World of Darkness. I don't think it's not fully open to the public yet because we're still trying to pan out things. But I still have the um if you go on the Our World of Darkness YouTube channel, there's a Discord button, and that should lead you directly where you need to go. And if not, you can get invited, and we'll get you in there. I hope that I can contribute in some way. Just character ideas and silly stories. I love them. That's great. That's what the Discord's for, truthfully, for us to just talk about our characters. How could something like VTM cause fighting? Oh my god. No issues until we nearly open the True Brew can of worms. Oh my god. Can you guys not see the link I am sharing? I do not see a link that you're sharing. Not in the chat anyway. Yeah, check those out. They're old. I was doing something really weird back then. I was like wearing weird clothes for each of the clans that I was playing. Like the Malkavian playthrough, I was wearing this like squid hat. It was so stupid, but I was having so much fun. We actually had a bet. I don't remember who it was. I might be wrong, but it might actually have been it might actually have been Paul who's in the group who bet me that I had to play the Nosferatu as a Nosferatu. I could not be seen. I had to travel through the sewers. I will say, as boring as it sounds, it did cut a whole bunch of content out of the game, but it was epic. That was a very fun playthrough. I stopped right before I was going to do Tremere, which I really need to pick that up. Let's see. Voivode and a couple of friends jumping around, and a lot of them starting Bloodlines 2. I can't wait. If Bloodlines 2 actually ever does come out, I don't know if anybody has noticed this, but every single one of my videos, when you're uploading, you're right, you're supposed to put down what game it is, and they don't have a tabletop option. It's all video games because live streams and stuff like that. So I put Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 on every single one of my videos. And I did that out of spite because I was like, no one else is using it. I know they're going through a lot of like drama trying to get it going, but I was just so bitter. I still do it. I love how one really good PvPer would keep texting one or both. Did that go through? Nope, still not seeing a thing. You might want to put it in the regular comments when the live stream's over. Maybe that will be a thing. I've also noticed that on YouTube, links, they don't work sometimes. I was having a huge trouble with my Patreon with that. Tremere, you're not missing anything. You know what? The reason why I was interested in doing the Tremere for the Bloodlines run was because I basically made a full-on character for each of the players, or for each of the things that I was doing, showcasing a discipline. So, like, I wanted like demontation to be the primary thing that I focused on when I was playing my my Malkavian, and I really only focused on 2 disciplines each. I want to play with their blood sorcery. That blood sorcery for Bloodlines 1 is just a lot of fun. We actually based a LARP rule set off of it. We actually called it the Path of Blood combat, where you had like the shield and the weapons and all that stuff. It was a lot of fun. Um, Maybe do one of the patches, Sabbat, the final. Oh God, I want to play the patches so bad because you can play Zamitzi. This is the R World of Darkness Discord link. Yes, that is the Discord link that it is, because it's ours. It's not just mine. It's ours. Trying to share Discord link that would take everyone straight to an invite. Everyone check the main comments. Please do. Yes, you guys are. I'd love having everybody there. It's so OP in the game. It is, but that's the point. I just want to run through and like hack and slash everything. Def to Vitae for the win. All right, so we're approaching that 4th hour. It's time. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. We'll figure out when everybody is. Maybe I'll check out the analytics page and I'll find out when everybody watches the most or something like that. I think it's like Saturday at 2 p.m. or something like that in Eastern Standard Time is when people watch. Um, as much as I would love to sit here and keep talking to this amazing community that has given me so much, and just, I don't know, I've never hung out with this many friends and had that much fun. um, I am Voivode Maquette. This is our World of Darkness, and thank you for joining me for this first live stream where we are celebrating 1,000 members of this incredible coterie that we have going here. And because I am a couple minutes short of, or a couple minutes behind on the chat as far as it go, I hope I don't cut anybody off saying anything important. Please leave comments. Please like this video, obviously. um, but yeah, good night, and I will see you all in the next one. On Monday, I'm going to have for you a complete um let's get to know this character when it comes to our dear Christoph, the Zamitzi tattoo artist. Good evening.